Juliet Charlie Flight 2024. Cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff. Juliet Charlie Flight 2024.
Going to be a jet sweep. It's going to bounce it to the outside. Uses that speed.
Room.
Spins off of one tackler. Still on his feet.
Still going.
Still going. Touchdown! James Clemens!
Yes, sir!
Welcome to James Clemens Football on PAS+. We'll be back with pre-flight coverage after this.
North Alabama Gas District has provided safe, reliable, and economical natural gas service to Madison and surrounding areas of Limestone County for over 40 years. However, accidents and leaks do sometimes occur. If you smell odors similar to rotten eggs or notice other possible signs of a gas leak, such as a fire or explosion, a blowing or hissing sound, or blowing dust or bubbling water, leave the area immediately, avoid ignition sources, warn others, and from a safe location, contact us immediately at 256-772-0227. And remember to call 811 before you dig. North Alabama Gas District, we take safety seriously. Since 2014, Honest Coffee Roasters has believed that coffee should be both delicious and of the highest quality. Full-service craft coffee shops, locally owned in Madison and Huntsville, they source their coffee directly from farmers around the world, so they know the quality in each cup. And not only coffee, breakfast, lunch, acai bowls, and seasonal treats, too. Order online at honesthsv.coffee. Honest Coffee Roasters, located at 92 Shorter Street in Madison and 114 Clinton Avenue East, number 106 in Huntsville. Honest Coffee Roasters. Local sports are brought to you in part by Limestone County Commission Chairman Colin Daly. Visit the County Commission page at limestonecounty-al.gov to keep up with what's going on in the county and find out what ranks us in the top 5% in the state. You can also call Colin at 256-233-6400 or on his cell phone at 256-800-4544. Mellow, a state of mind, a culture, a way of being, and the philosophy behind Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers. Since 1974, their mission has been to provide delicious food in a fun and creative environment. The originators of hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza, Mellow Mushroom makes their pies with high-quality, fresh ingredients to elevate the dining experience. So mellow out at Mellow Mushroom, a higher order of pizza in Huntsville at 470 Providence, Maine, and 2230 Cecil Ashburn in Jones Valley.
Bankston Motorhomes, with locations in Alabama and Tennessee, carries an extensive inventory of motorhomes, including Class A diesel, Class A, Class B, and Class C motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, toy haulers, and tent campers from manufacturers like Tiffin Motorhomes, Fleetwood, Forest River, and many more. Bankston Motorhomes also has an experienced service department to help you with any service work or parts or accessories you need. Bankston Motorhomes, Huntsville, Florence, Albertville, Ardmore, and Nashville, helping families like yours build memories for over 40 years. Call 1-800-624-2899 or visit them online at bankstonmotorhomes.com.
Welcome to the James Clemens Pre-Flight Show on PAS+, brought to you by Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe in Madison.
Good evening, Jets fans. I'm Tim Lambert. We are live at Brawley Stadium in Florence as the Falcons are the host team tonight. The region schedule resumes with Florence holding a 2-1 record compared to James Clemens' 3-0, which puts them in a tie for the region lead with Austin, who defeated the Falcons last week 20-0. The Jets hold a 5-3 edge in this series, the latest win coming last year, 14-7. We spoke with Coach Chad McGee earlier this week.
Coach, give us your synopsis and evaluation of where we are as we're halfway through the season now.
Yeah, I think we're in a good place. We've got a big stretch these next 3 weeks. It really comes down to a 3-week season ahead for the region championship and seeding with, obviously this week going to Florence and then Sparkman, then Austin. And Austin will be at home. So, we're in a good place, though. 4-1, obviously, we're not into moral victories, but, I was proud of our kids, their performance, and the grit that we showed in that game. And I really think we're peaking offensively after that game. It's probably the cleanest, most efficient offensive game that we've had this year. Eliminated a lot of the penalties. Just did some really good things and ran the ball really well against we punched those guys in the mouth on the offensive line and then tight end position. And, those were our players of the week, the whole group. So I was really excited. We didn't turn the ball over given the weather conditions as far as fumbles. We had 1 interception, 2 interceptions, and I'll take credit for both those. Just not putting our guys in the best situation. And then defensively, we missed a lot of tackles and some things genetically that had to do with that. They had 2 really, really, really good running backs and had some great skill kids. But, I'm really, really proud of our kids because it's just amazing to me when they get off the bus and they don't look like we do, and we're giving up some size and some speed and some things, and I'm really proud of our coaches too, and just coaching those guys up and getting them in a position to win and have an opportunity to win. And somebody had to win the Alabama-Georgia game, and somebody had to win the Spain Park versus us, James Clemens game. And unfortunately we didn't come out on top, but, we were playing to win. And, and so I think it was a good shot in the arm for us going in the region, good competition. And so I'm excited about this week.
I think those are all things we talked about on Friday night,
absolutely.
Right? This was probably one of the premier games in the state last week. You're talking about a team as good of a high school team as I remember seeing in recent times, Spain Park I'm talking about. And we didn't back down at all. Like you said, we came out firing and through it all, even the times of adversity.
Sure.
Our kids didn't give up. They didn't give in. We continued to play hard. And we faced adversity that a lot of people probably don't know about. I mean, you quarterback getting his first varsity start, a couple injuries that guys were missing, and we needed other people to step up. So, all in all, I thought kudos to you guys for the effort that you guys put out there last week. And you factor in the weather, too, man. I mean, that was – anything could have went one way or the other at any time. So, it's a huge – I think it's huge. And you want to see that competition. Yeah. You talked about that your first week here.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we scheduled the teams that we schedule, and Homewood at the end of the year is not going to be they just had a battle with Mountain Brook for their first loss. It'll be tough going in the playoffs, but we learned a lot about who we are as a team, and that was a really good test for us. And honestly, we needed it. We had, 2 DNs that have torn their ACL like in the last 2 weeks, and I had to put somebody down there that had not played that position, so we really needed that. Had our starting nickel out with an ankle injury, and then we obviously starting a sophomore quarterback, so it was all good. It was a really good experience for a lot of guys, and and it's exposed some things that we need to fix. When you play good competition, go back to the drawing board, and you see good coaching, and you're like, oh, we need to change some of these things on defense for our kids to, fourth quarter we had some issues. So it was just a good experience overall for the coaches and the players. And
well, let me ask you that we look at it from coaching standpoint and say, man, that's great for us, right? After the game, how do you think your team took it? Have they looked at it the same way? Man, what a great opportunity for us, and now we know where we're at, and let's get back to work.
Yeah, I think our kids are confident, and we just got to find a way in those games to be consistent from first quarter to fourth quarter, and to finish the drill, and finish those games. But look, I'm going to tell you what, and I told the kids at halftime we saw a look on film on their kickoff return that the onside kick was going to be wide open.
Yeah.
And I told the kids at halftime that, we left the Hoover game and we're up 16-7. We come out, we kick off to them, and there was a look that we really liked, and I played it conservatively. and didn't go for it, and they end up scoring, and then we fumble a kickoff, and then it just piled on, and I'm like, I'm not going to live with regrets. And I told the kids, I said, we're going to go out and play to win, and we're going to go for it, and it's not going to affect us in region, but we're going to go win. And we went for it, and we had it. We're just half a yard too quick. A half a yard too quick for the kicker to pick it up. We were aggressive, and we had that talk. They're going to get it at the 50, and they may go score. So then we're going to have to come back, and we're going to have to score. And it was just one of those back and forth. They are a really good offensive team. We're a very good offensive team, I feel like. So just a great battle. Coach Vakakis later that night sent me a text, said, man, that was a hell of a game. And said that was big boy football.
It was. It really was.
And
you said you didn't really think when looking at it as a moral victory, but for me, you look at all the sports movies. Like I was a big fan of the movie Hoosiers, where he brings them in the arena and he says it's not as big as you. It's kind of like probably getting that edge where it's like there was always this fear since I've been here. When Birmingham comes to town, it's like Mufasa. Oh my gosh, Birmingham's coming, Birmingham. Yeah. And when they came out and were just pounded, I was like, that's got to be a little bit where you're like, I punched them and they hurt.
Yeah. The kids are confident and they believe in themselves, and having this group in the program for 4 years it's really it's a neat evolution to where we are, and hopefully we can continue to grow from it and continue to peak like we did Friday on offense, and but like I told the kids, we're going to go to a stadium on Friday night, and it's a college stadium, and it's going to be a lot like Alabama A&M. It's going to be quiet, and there's not going to be any students because they're all out of town this fall break, and but it's about us, and we're going to have to focus on us and it being about us and not the atmosphere and those things. So it's going to be a tough deal.
That was an intense game last year.
Oh, it was. I mean, it was
14-7.
And had to pull out some tricks to get that 14. I mean, it was a fun game to be a part of, not one I would want to be coaching on the sideline.
Well, they're very good on defense, and they got them all back. So we got them all back on offense. They got them all back on defense. It'll be probably the best front that we've seen. So
really, I mean, even with what you guys saw Friday night, because that was a pretty big size front.
Yep, this front's going to be really athletic and just a different scheme.
Okay.
So that's going to be a challenge. I think if you look at it interior-wise, it'll be the best interior that we've seen. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we've played some really good edges, but this will be the best interior. The nose and the tackle position, and so should be a good slobber knocker.
Well, and you talked about the things that you guys were able to focus on. I mean, and the kids kind of bouncing back and getting ready for this week. But right afterwards, the resiliency, or what was the attitude? How did you temper the locker room afterwards? I know you guys get together on the field and stuff, but how were you able to temper that and letting them know, hey, yeah, we just took a loss, but hey,
Well, I mean, I told them we're not into moral victories and never will be. And if you are, then we'll never get to where we want to be. But it was, I was very proud of them, and I was proud of our effort, and I was proud of our execution. And they know somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. I told them that was two top 10 teams in my mind playing football.
Absolutely.
And it could go the other way, not to be too much like Hugh Freeze, but we could play 5 more times and it could go either way. I feel like, and it's the next day. We got to wake up and realize that we've got 3 weeks in front of us to determine either we're going to be a region champion or we're going to be a 4 seed on the road traveling. So it's a really important stretch that we refocus and get our composure back and be ready to go. But if that team that showed up Friday night plays these next 3 weeks, I feel very confident in where we are.
As you should.
Yep.
All right, so, I mean, we hit on it Friday night, too. I mean, that's where we are. Florence, Sparkman, Austin. And you said it earlier, down to a 3-week season, really. And we stay in the driver's seat. We got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, we certainly, for the seniors, I want them to have the opportunity to walk out of here back-to-back region champs. And, you know, having won 2 out of 3 since their sophomore year, but as a program, 3 out of 4. And I want that for them. And I told them today, like, don't live with regrets. Like, don't wake up when you're my age and wish that you had practiced a little bit harder or you had focused a little bit more. And that's been the message. Don't live with regret, but, like, let's go out and cut it loose and go try to do this. And you definitely, the way the regions match up, you don't want to be a 4 seed because you don't want to drive down to Central Phoenix City and have to make that 3.5-hour drive to go play somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, so you always want to host for the community and the school and the support here.
As always, it's such a pleasure to talk to you and an honor, and we appreciate you taking the time. We'll be there Friday night.
All right, go Jets.
Go Jets.
That was James Clemens coach Chad McGee sitting down with Kirk Pierce, Bradley Kimbrough, and Clay Coleman on the Wingmen podcast earlier this week.
We'll be back with more of the James Clemens Pre-Flight Show on PAS+.
One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair.
If you're looking to make your business stand out, save yourself some time and make Apparel Lab in Madison your first call. Apparel Lab will help you grow your brand with custom t-shirts and hoodies using their unique direct-to-garment printing. Laser engraving can put your design on mugs and tumblers. Plus, they can help with custom-designed hats, stickers, banners, signs, decals, and much more. Apparel Lab. Call 344-4656 or visit them online at apparellab.inc and on Facebook and Instagram. Located in the Madison Mall Shopping Center on Old Madison Pike. Apparel Lab.
Athens Utilities comprises Athens Electric, Athens Gas, and Athens Water Services. Together, we are committed to providing reliable and affordable electricity, natural gas, and water and wastewater services. We operate as part of the City of Athens, and just like our city's motto of Athens is classic, Southern, character, we believe in supporting what makes our community special. And that includes local sports. Call 233-8750. Come by our office at 508 South Jefferson Street or look for the link online at athensal.us.
When Keith and Amy Richards went on a Greek vacation in 1997, their goal was to create savory foods from simple ingredients. Thus, Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe was born with their healthy spin on traditional Greek food in the form of salads, gyros, sandwiches, and soups. Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe, located at 105 Brookridge Drive, Suite A, just off Highway 72 in Madison. Open Monday through Sunday, 10:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. Call 724-6554 or visit them online at Tzatziki'sCafe.com. Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe. Originality is our nationality.
James Clemens pre-flight coverage on PAS Plus is brought to you by Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe in Madison. Now, let's join the Tzatziki's touchdown team. Kirk Pierce, Johnny Johnson, and Brad Kimbrough.
It's time now for another edition of James Clemens Sports right here on PAS Plus. We are live this Friday night at Brawley Stadium, the home of the Florence Falcons, and also, more importantly, the UNA Lions in Florence, Alabama. We are high up in the press box at Brawley Stadium, bringing you tonight's action as your James Clemens Jets visit the Florence Falcons. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kirk Pierce. Up here in the booth with me, as always, it seems to be the case, it's the head softball coach at James Clemens, Brad Kimbrough. Brad, welcome aboard, man.
Hey, consistency, baby. That's what I'm about. So you're right. As always, I'm the guy. I'm here.
You're here.
I'm a clutch player.
You're a clutch player. You know, we sometimes have to pinch hit for Johnny, and he hadn't been able to be with us.
Well, he was a PO. Let's not forget when he got to his later years in his career, he was a PO. There was no hitting for that guy. You know.
No, we miss having him with us, and I know he's out with JT, watching JT play another game tonight for Snead, and just wish him the best of luck out there in JT's ball game. And also missing Carson, our chief statistician. He's not with us tonight, and he is, because this is fall fall break for James Clemens.
Yep.
And so he and his family, they are gone for fall break, so he wasn't able to join us tonight. So it's the 3-man crew. It's myself, you, and then Tim Lambert, our producer extraordinaire.
Yeah, we miss those guys, but it does create a little more space up here for us. This is a stadium that was built a long time ago.
Yes,
it doesn't have the room that, hey, it's nice. I'm not being derogatory about our space here. I love Brawley Stadium. It's just not the space we have in other places.
No, it definitely doesn't. But hey, we're here, and it's another edition of James Clemens Football right here on PAS Plus. But right now, we're going to take it to the field because it's about time for the playing of our national anthem.
And we honor America with the playing of the national anthem, performed by the Falcon Big Blue Marching Band.
National anthem brought to us by the Florence Falcons Marching Band, and they did a really good rendition of that. Congratulations to them for getting through that and playing of our national anthem. We're just a little over 11 minutes until kickoff. So tonight, James Clemens comes in with a record of 4-1 overall, 3-0 in Region 4 action, dropping their first game last week against 6A Spain Park, 34-24 in the weather, in the rain, in the wind, and it was a good ball game. I hate that if you weren't able to be there. I hope you picked it up on the broadcast last week, because I tell you, what we were able to do, I hope we did it justice, but being there watching that game as two heavyweight teams, it was a slugfest for 4 quarters, Brad.
It really was. I mean, it was a heck of a high school football game, and you alluded to the elements that played a part into it. You know, we talked about on the broadcast how many starters that we had out due to injuries and things like that. So, and we alluded to Matthew Evers getting his first start at quarterback. I mean, that's a huge game to get your first start.
Oh, yeah.
Especially as a quarterback. And then to have just rain sheets coming across the field, right to left the entire game. It was a crazy atmosphere. Spain Park traveled well.
They did.
But, if you didn't hear us on the podcast Tuesday when we talked to Coach McGee about it, I was so impressed with our kids the way we go out in the first quarter and we hit Spain Park in the mouth.
Yeah, we did.
And they kind of had to look around. They had that stun look for a minute, like a boxing match when somebody gets stung really well. They were stunned, and they had to look around and kind of get their bearings before they made a game of it in the second quarter. Mm-hmm. And then, late in the third, maybe early in the fourth, they got the lead for the first time.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly the way it played out. And we talked, talking to Coach McGee the other night, there was a couple of things that he, probably would like to have back, but he didn't want to second guess himself. That onside kick, he said he saw an opportunity and he took it, and they ended up being a half a yard short, which set up Spain Park for a touchdown right there in the third quarter.
Yeah, but he said, we're not going to live with regret.
That's exactly right.
That was his philosophy, and that's the message that he preached to the players. Don't live with regret. And I don't think there's anything you can regret about that game last week.
No, none whatsoever.
We went out, we played a heck of a football game against a phenomenal opponent who's going to go really deep in 6A.
Oh, sure.
And that's one of the better high school football teams I've seen in many years. So really proud of our kids and our coaches, the way they handled that and then come back. Now let's see how we handle it coming off that loss and then fall break.
Yeah, the fall break playing in tonight, and of course the student section's not there like we've had in the past, and we haven't traveled quite as well because of fall break. But nevertheless, tonight coming in against Florence. Florence comes in overall 2-3, but they're 2-1 in region play. Now, the thing about Florence, Brad, is if you really look down at their roster, offensively they're okay. Yeah, they're not going to be the best offensive team we've played. No. However, on the other side of the ball, defensively, they are stacked.
Yeah, they might be the best defensive team we played. I talked to Coach Truitt, our offensive coordinator, today, and those were his words, is I feel like this is the best defense top to bottom that we've seen all year. Man, that says a lot when you think about it. We just played Spain Park, who was really good. Huntsville wasn't terrible. No. And then Bob Jones' defense looked really good, too. So, I mean, those are two really good defenses we know we've seen. And for him to say that this is the best defense we've seen yet, that's pretty impressive on that staff over there.
And this team took Bob Jones into overtime, the Florence team, and ended up winning over at Madison City School Stadium. They also beat Albertville. They shut them out. Then last week they played Austin and were shut out 20-0 against the Black Bears. So, and we'll see the Black Bears here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about this privately, but it's us, Austin, and Florence who have a chance to be that first and second in our region. The way things are sitting right now. You know, we would hope that in a perfect world, it's us hosting Austin in a few weeks for that region championship. But we're in the driver's seat, but we're sharing it with Austin. Right. You know, we want to stay on that course and get to that point where it's us and Austin. But Florence is a team that can disrupt that.
Yeah, and of course, James Clemens comes in with a 5-3 record against the Florence Falcons out of the 8 times that they played. So hopefully we'll be able to get out of here with 6-3 record overall.
Yeah, but you know, some of those have been really, really tight games. I mean, I think back to last year on a 14-7 game, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was.
And I was on the sideline for that one, and it was what a heck of a game. I mean, just two defenses getting after it. We remember how good our defense was last year with a couple Division I caliber kids that have gone on to play at the next level. But we were really good defensively last year, and it was just a defensive stalemate of a game, and Coach Truitt had to reach deep into that bag of tricks to get those 14 points.
Well, we did that. Hopefully we can find some more tricks in our bag tonight as we get ready for kickoff here in just a little bit. We're about 6 minutes away from tonight's matchup between your James Clemens Jets and the host team, the Florence Falcons. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the coin toss and kickoff. You're listening to James Clemens Jets football right here on PAS Plus.
This has been the James Clemens Pre-Flight Show. We'll be back with first quarter action on PAS Plus.
When Keith and Amy Richards went on a Greek vacation in 1997, their goal was to create savory foods from simple ingredients. Thus, Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe was born with their healthy spin on traditional Greek food in the form of salads, gyros, sandwiches, and soups. Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe, located at 105 Brookridge Drive, Suite A, just off Highway 72 in Madison. Open Monday through Sunday, 10:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. Call 724-6554 or visit them online at Tzatziki'sCafe.com. Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe. Originality is our nationality.
Whether you're an experienced golfer or a total beginner, Madison Golf Center has the largest, most up-to-date practice range in North Alabama, including a complete teaching center with the best and most experienced instructional staff available at your convenience. Madison Golf Center features the most complete driving range facility around, with a large grass tee area allowing for 100 hitting stations a day with a 14-day rotation. Open every day year-round and located at 401 Lime Quarry Road, between Wall Triana and Hughes Road. Madison Golf Center.
Are pests invading your home or business? Mosquitoes embedded on your property? Maybe excessive crawl space moisture has attracted unwanted visitors. Then call Red Hawk Pest Control, offering residential and commercial pest control, mosquito and brown recluse management, stinging insect control, foundation vents, and many other services to North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. Red Hawk aims to be more than just a service provider. They want to build a long-term relationship with each customer. Call Red Hawk Pest Control at 256-975-8817. Visit them on Facebook or online at redhawkpestcontrol.com.
Right now on a podcast platform near you, The Wingmen.
There's someone on the wing. Something.
Join us live every week this football season at Walk On Sports Bistro at Clift Farm on Highway 72 as Kirk Pierce, Johnny Johnson, and Brad Kimbrough talk James Clemens Jets sports. The Wingmen.
We're winging it, Jerry.
On your favorite platform via the PAS Plus app on your Alexa device by saying Open PAS Plus and online at jcwingmen.net.
Welcome back to James Clemens Football right here on PAS Plus as the captains make their way out to midfield. Your captains for James Clemens tonight, number 79, Derek Thomas, number 16, Rashad Freeman, and your permanent captains, number 50, Tim Coleman, and 0, Cam Berry. As James Clemens looked like they won the toss and elected to defer. Is that what I saw?
That's our go-to.
That is our go-to, and we just talked about the lights as Brawley Stadium completely shuts out all of the lights. They turn them off except for the blue LEDs, and it spotlights right there at the 50-yard line.
One spotlight on those captains. That was a really cool look.
I got to agree.
I haven't seen that one done before.
I hope Clay was watching. Could be something to incorporate over at Madison City School Stadium. So you can go to your Amazon Echo device and say, Alexa, open PAS Plus, and hear our coverage of James Clemens football in crystal clear quality all season long. James Clemens comes out with their navy blue pants, white jerseys trimmed in jet blue with their jet blue helmets, looking sharp.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing this look yet this year.
I don't think we've seen
this. It's a good look, though.
I like it.
Kind of like every look we come out with.
It's always a sexy look, I'm telling you. And then you got the Florence Falcons. They are blue and black. They are head to toe blue. From helmets all the way down.
I haven't seen them in that uniform before, where it's blue helmet, blue jersey, blue pant. It's a pretty good look.
It's not bad. Yeah. It's not bad at all. I'll give them props. And there you go, the stadium lights in full effect. Shutting them off, shutting them on, shutting them off, shutting them on.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They're carrying, several of the guys up front are carrying flags from each of our branch of service in the United States as well. I mean, it's pretty cool.
It's definitely a cool look. And as we get ready, we're just now ready for kickoff here on PAS Plus. Brad, last thoughts, man. What we got?
We're going to have to play really, really well offensively. You know, we know that everybody we play spends a lot of time working on our motions and our shifts and the way that we line things up. I'm betting with a fall break this week while we're going to have to work to get our kids back into it because everything is different being out of school all week. At the same time, Coach Truitt's had extra time to work on a couple of wrinkles, you know, and let's use them early. He's good about that, bringing that out early and trying to get us a lead early on. I think if we do that, then we're in good shape.
So defensively, we're going to be up there. We're going to get the ball, or going to kick off to Florence first. And defensively, we've got some young defensive backs and defensive linemen, but we've also got some skill positions in the linebacker position. Just kind of thinking about a couple of those being, you know, Hayes, Harrison, you know, and then you've got Jaden Young. Well, Jaden, of course, he's out for the year with Achilles. So you've had a couple of
move Hollins.
Hollins had to go to defensive end, and so I hope that we're calling a lot of their names on the positive side tonight, able to get some stops in the backfield, get a short field for our first possession and keep these Florence Falcons on their side of the 50.
Well, that may be the biggest key to tonight is field position.
I agree.
Positive for us and, of course, negative for them to make things easier on ourselves.
So Ortiz does his typical walk up to the ball, kicks it high,
slow approach,
end over end, makes it all the way to about the 7-yard line where it's going to be fielded by number 1, and he's going to be tackled short of the 25-yard line.
That
Dowdell gets in there, trips him up, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for Florence from their own 23, 24-yard lines where they're going to spot the ball.
So typically on kickoff return, your kickoff coverage team either does a run around right or a run around left, and it tells everybody on the coverage team which way to avoid the guy who's trying to block you so that no gap gets left open. That time a gap got left open, somebody went the wrong way, but Dowdell with a great effort coming from the backside hash to make that tackle.
So Florence sets up first with 2 splits on either side, one running back to the right of the quarterback. Number 19 is going to be a flare pass out to the sidelines, and it's going to be in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 10 for Florence. Number 19 is the quarterback, Cade Davis. He is a junior, 6'4", 202 pound. He's a tall one at quarterback.
He's a good-looking kid, and he threw a good ball that time, but I think the poor running back heard footsteps coming.
Because they were coming hard, too. Yep. So trips to the far side, one to the near, and going to have the running back to the left of the quarterback, and he's going to take a shot, get knocked down, but the running back still on his feet. That's number 10, finally drugged down from behind after he picks up a nice 15-yard pickup there. First down for Florence.
I couldn't tell if it was James Hollins or not, but the defensive end on the far side came in and tried to meet the quarterback and running back at the mesh point. and almost got there. Instead, he takes the quarterback down, but the handoff had already been made.
So again, trips to the other side. And there's going to be a flare pass, but the snap is low and in and out of the hands of the quarterback. He just falls on it for a loss on the play.
Yeah, we had a blitz coming that time from the outside, bringing extra pressure, and the quarterback did the smart thing when he fumbled that snap. He did the really smart thing by getting on it.
Looked like it was Pritchett coming in from his cornerback position, coming in on a cornerback blitz on the far side and was able to get back there, but the quarterback did fall on the ball. So a little miscommunication between the center and the quarterback there.
Well, that quarterback's eyes might have went to that extra run or extra rusher, and then that's all it takes is a split second to take you off the ball.
So going to put a man in motion. Number 2 goes from the near to the far, and they're going to hand it off on his own read to the running back, number 7 this time, and that is Carter Graves, and he picks up a couple of yards down to about the 37-yard line. Now they're going to say 36-yard line, so be third and long, third and about 14 for Florence.
Florence was trying to get the play side guard to pull out there and wrap around, and he had Big Tank that just never would let him disengage, and it stalled the running back behind the line of scrimmage long enough for us to get a stop.
So our defensive line, so far, looks like they've been able to handle the offensive front of the Florence Falcons.
Yeah.
Let's see what we do here on third and long. Trips to the far side, low snap again. He's got to get rid of it. There was a hold right there. He makes a pitch and catch to the receiver, and he picks up a big first down all the way into Jets territory down to about the 29-yard line. So first down, Florence.
You mentioned the obvious hole on the backside. I mean, it was pretty clear, but the quarterback that time threw a dart.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know what kind of breakdown we had, but he was able to kind of post to the middle of the field to make that reception.
So now we're going to have a new look in the backfield as number 19, the quarterback's coming out, and in for him is going to be a defensive back, Ja'Shawn Pearson, number 1, as he's going to be in the shotgun with a running back to his right.
I think we all know what's coming here.
Yeah, it's going to be a little read option, going to be fake to the running back, and he's going to keep it himself up the middle, bounces off a couple of tacklers, walks his way into the end zone to score first. Florence takes the lead.
That's smart coaching by Florence because they've seen how fast that we're getting to that mesh point with the zone. And so you've got a big, tall quarterback that obviously likes to throw the ball down the field, and he's taking hits where he's handing it off. That time, ride that option out. And when they take it, quarterback pulls it, or kind of a wildcat look. He pulls it, goes right up the middle of the field.
So a 30-yard touchdown run there by number 1, Pearson, on a read option. And he takes it in for 30 yards. Kick is up, and it is good as Florence, with 9:41 remaining in the first quarter, they strike first. 7-0 your score. Florence on top. You're listening to James Clemens Football on PAS+.
Since 2014, Honest Coffee Roasters has believed that coffee should be both delicious and of the highest quality. Full-service craft coffee shops locally owned in Madison and Huntsville, they source their coffee directly from farmers around the world, so they know the quality in each cup. And not only coffee, breakfast, lunch, acai bowls, and seasonal treats, too. Order online at honesthsv.coffee. Honest Coffee Roasters, located at 92 Shorter Street in Madison and 114 Clinton Avenue East, number 106 in Huntsville. Honest Coffee Roasters.
Welcome back to James Clemens Football on PAS+. Kirk Pierce, Brad Kimbrew, and Tim Lambert in the broadcast booth at Brawley Stadium as Florence gets a 7-0 lead right off the bat on their opening drive. Started at about their own 25-yard line, or 24-yard line, and took it in from 30 yards out on a quarterback keeper on a read option. And they are ahead 7-0. Back deep to receive the kickoff for James Clemens. First possession is going to be Ty Doty.
Is it? I'm sitting here.
Yeah,
it is.
It is
Okay.
Ty Doty.
All
Yeah.
right. I was getting a profile look, and I've been looking at him thinking, I don't think that's Ty. But
Yeah.
I was glad when those 11s popped up on his jersey.
Yeah, that's Ty back there. Lively also back deep to receive.
And they're going to kick to it.
And they're going to kick it all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And they're going to be 1st and 10, James Clemens, from their own 20-yard line. So our opportunity now to see James Clemens on offense. And we've got a couple of decisions to make. We'll see who comes in at quarterback. I know Jacoby Gill coming off of an injury. Evers filled in for him last week and did quality work. But let's see. It looked like
he did a good job.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, we've talked about Gill and his kind of indecisiveness at times through those first 3 games. Evers came in last week, and I'm not sure what the injury was with Gill. Could have been concussion protocol for all we know. But
well, we're just going to go with a different look. We're going to go ahead with Ty Doty in at quarterback.
If you can't decide who's quarterback, let's let Ty Doty do it.
Yeah, so you got Barry and Gideon in the backfield with him. Going to fake the handoff. Ty is going to keep it himself and try to run it up the middle. But as you predicted, that defensive front of the Florence Falcons said, no, sir, and maybe he got a half a yard.
Yeah, Coach McGee mentioned it. Coach Truitt mentioned it. We've seen it on film. Their interior line defensively is as good as any that we've seen, and they showed it right there.
So Evers is going to be in at quarterback. He's going to be in the pistol. Behind him looks like it's Cam Berry. Two splits to the far side. That's
there's our bread and butter.
Yep, going to hand it off to Berry. Berry trying to find his way through. Finally finds a hole, but doesn't get very far. Picks up a couple of yards down to about the 24-yard line. So it's going to be third down and about 5, a long 5 for the Jets.
But it's manageable for us. I mean, we've shown the ability to break big runs. We've shown the ability to throw the football short distances and pick up first down. So let's see what we do here. We got one receiver to this side.
So Evers takes a look over to the sidelines. Now Lively and crew move all the way over to the near side.
We went from one receiver to trips with the tight end.
Easily. So you got Lively, Little, and Doty. Now Berry's going to flare out.
Smart call.
It's going to be a quick pass out to Berry. Berry's going to cross the 50, finds a crease, busts through, past the 35, short of the 40-yard line, down to about the 39 for a Jets first down.
That's a really good call by Coach Truitt and the offense right there. First of all, lining up and giving them something different to look at, and then motioning away from it, and then put Berry in motion and give Evers an easy throw behind the line, and you've got numbers out here to this side to block for him. Good first down play.
So you got Gideon in the backfield now, so Ty Doty is going to line up at quarterback in the shotgun. Now looks like you've got Berry split. Now Berry goes in motion. It's going to be a fake that jet sweep. Doty's going to keep it himself and forces his way forward for a pickup of about 8 yards on there. And now finally a penalty flag called, a little extracurricular activity on the backside.
That was very clear, and it's out there in the open. MJ Gideon and Cam Berry did a great job that time leading Ty Doty up into the hole. And that's, we've talked about that formation a lot when you got those three guys back there. And that time, MJ just stayed on his block. When the whistle blew, the defender reached up and kind of smacked him in the face pretty hard.
So that's going to be an automatic first down, a little unsportsmanlike conduct, keeps this drive going.
And he's owning it. To his credit, he put his hand up, said, yeah, coach, it was me.
So that's going to move him into Florence territory. It's going to be 1st and 10. Doty was able to get the first down. So that's going to be a spot foul. It's where they're going to mark it from the spot of the foul. So it's James Clemens' ball, 1st and 10 at the Florence 38. So Evers under center with the I formation, Gideon and Berry in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Gideon around the far side. Gideon trying to find his way through, forces his way past several defenders.
Good run.
Goes out of bounds, short of the first down marker by about 3 yards. So good run there.
Yeah, good run. Two things we need to do. Offensive line is so aggressive right now, trying to get off the ball and attack that really good defensive front. They need to sit in there and be a little bit more patient. We don't need any stupid penalties. And two, man, you hope NJ would wrap that ball up a little bit more. He's running through there.
Hug it close, baby. Hug it
and
close.
when he's in traffic, we want him to cover that football up.
So Evers is going to be in the pistol with Gideon behind him. Trips to the near side. And he's going to roll out, keep it himself, finds himself a crease, picks up the first down, falls forward down to about the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 Jets.
That's another play we haven't seen before. By that time, Evers makes it look like it's going to be speed option. He goes in kind of a speed option look, but he was never trying to get the corner and look for a pitch. He was looking for the backside crease, and as soon as he found it, he sticks it up in there just enough for a first down.
So we got to get down to the 15-yard line for a first down to keep this drive going. Trips to the near side. 1st and 10 from the 25. Doty, Lively, and Little split. Looks like you got Berry to the right of Evers. Evers now line shifts, got him to jump.
Got him again.
And they've seen that on film, and thank goodness they didn't see it enough.
Well, part of what makes Coach Truitt a really good play caller is his timing.
Yeah.
Right? We seen him come out one game and do it the very first play.
Yeah.
Well, then you're not going to get him to fall for it for a while until the end of the game. This time, don't show it to him throughout the first possession until it's absolutely going to work in your favor.
So all the way down to the 20-yard line. Now Berry goes in motion. Evers going to swing pass out to Berry again. Perfect little pass. Berry cuts it to the inside. Down to the 10. Still fighting. Look at them try to strip that ball out of his hands, and he's full of muscle and not letting it go.
Yeah, another good job of making it an easy pass for Evers to get a completion. Biggest thing is just get the ball in the hands of those guys that make plays and get them in space, and we've done that so far.
So 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. No, actually it's 1st and goal from the 10. So in the red zone, let's see what we can do. We got to get some points on the board, guys. preferably a touchdown with 6:48 remaining and counting in this opening quarter, down 7-0. You've got Gideon and Berry in the backfield with Evers. 2 splits. That's Doty and Little. Now Achenbach comes in motion. Now we're going to hand it off to Gideon. Gideon creases his way through, spins down to the 5 for 2nd and goal from, they're going to say he went down at the 6-yard line. So 6 yards out from pay dirt.
Yeah, easy zone the whole way. It's our bread and butter. It's what we live by. It's the brand.
It is.
Okay, we're going to run wide zone. And that time he found a good crease, but just one guy hitting him there low gets the stop.
So A.J. Kelly comes in for Gideon. So you're going to have 2 blocking tight ends in there. You've got Achenbach and Kelly. We know Kelly likes to hit, so this is his time right here.
Both those guys are physical.
So Berry behind Evers. Now Little goes in motion. No, check that, Kelly. And now Evers going to hand it off to Berry. Berry finds himself a hole, kind of creases up, spins off of a tackler, forces his way forward.
He's still on his feet.
Gets in the end zone. Touchdown, James Clemens. He was stopped at the 3, and that tush push right there got him in.
Maybe the 4, he spun back into the inside about the 4-yard line and then just refused to go down. And we've seen both those guys do that before, where they just refuse to be denied when they get that close.
So Berry gets it in from 6 yards out on that first touchdown of the game for the Jets with 5:44 remaining as Ortiz lines up for the extra point. Kick is up, through the uprights and good. At 5:44 remaining in the opening quarter, we're all knotted up at 7 apiece. You're listening to Jets football on PAS+.
North Alabama Gas District has provided safe, reliable, and economical natural gas service to Madison and surrounding areas of Limestone County for over 40 years. However, accidents and leaks do sometimes occur. If you smell odors similar to rotten eggs or notice other possible signs of a gas leak, such as a fire or explosion, a blowing or hissing sound, or blowing dust or bubbling water, leave the area immediately, avoid ignition sources, warn others, and from a safe location, contact us immediately at 256-772-0227. And remember to call 811 before you dig. North Alabama Gas District, we take safety seriously.
Welcome back to James Clemens Football on PAS+. Is Cam Berry, the permanent team captain for the Jets, punches it in from 6 yards out to knot us up at 7 apiece with 5:44 remaining in the opening quarter. Ortiz lines up to kick off back to the Florence Falcons as they are playing this one a little bit shallow. Let's see what he does. And he's just going to pooch kick that one over, and it's going to roll into the arms of number 11, fielded at about the 25-yard line, trying to find a crease. Stop short of the 30, down to about the 28-yard line.
Great coverage by our kickoff guys that time. There was nowhere for him to go.
So it'll be 1st and 10, Florence from their own 28-yard line. So you need to listen for the in-flight movie quote during our James Clemens coverage. We'll sneak in a moving quote at some point as part of our play-by-play commentary. And if you know what movie it's from, you got to just text your name and the answer to 256-434-1727, and you could win a $10 gift credit from Honest Coffee Roasters over in Madison. It's our in-flight movie quote. Text in the answer, 256-434-1727. Now back to the action on the field. 1st and 10, Florence from their own 28. Going to fake the handoff. Going out, almost intercepted.
He did. Dowdell read that so well that he almost picked off that ball behind the line.
But it was a reception on a swing pass to number 8. He gets 6 yards, so 2nd and 4 for Florence, down to about the 35.
And they did a great job selling the fake inside. I mean, they fooled part of our second level defense, thinking it was a run play. They didn't fool Dowdell.
Not a bit. He just missed it. Just a hair from getting that one, either knocking it down or taking it to the house. So 2nd and 4. Going to hand it off to the running back up the middle. He's going to make one person miss, makes 2. Finally brought down as he dives past the 50 down into James Clemens territory to the 49-yard line. We are shooting the gap. We're just not making the tackles.
Well, and we're getting in the backfield, too. We're really close to making those tackles each time. They're doing a great job with their angles so that we're just out of reach of our defenders.
So it brings up 1st down from the 49-yard line of James Clemens. So we're showing a 3-5 defense right now as we've shifted our look just a little bit. Going to be a read option to number 10, and he's going to slip and fall. No gain on the play.
Well, that was more like buck sweep concepts. They pulled both guards that time. just a straight handoff, I think, and they're looking for an opportunity to cut that thing back across the field. Unfortunately, for Florence, our defensive line did a great job of getting penetration and not letting those guards get to the spot they needed to.
So 2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line of James Clemens. Florence trips to the far side, one to the near, running back to the left of the quarterback. Number 19, bad snap, and then you got to get – well, it's going to be a false start because everybody moved except the center, and then he snapped it late.
And he's the one that's really important.
He really kind of is.
I mean, he's got to get the ball snapped. Yeah, the poor inside receiver and 2 offensive linemen, they took off.
So that's going to lose 5 on that one, takes it all the way back into Florence territory, down to their 46. So still 2nd down and 15.
I'm curious what they're going to try to do with those 3 receivers up top.
Again,
Same thing again. So either the center's not hearing the quarterback's claps. Of course, here's the first of all, you're not supposed to – it doesn't matter what the count is. You don't move till the ball snaps.
That's right.
Right? So everybody else is in the wrong because the ball hasn't moved. However, everybody's going on a specific count. The center must not be able to hear it.
So, or it makes me wonder – if the offensive linemen, because we're getting really good penetration, if they're trying to jump the snap just a little bit and get back there. So, again, showing a 3-5. He's got 3 down linemen, put a man in motion. Now we got trips to the far side. It's going to be a flare pass out to number 7. He's going to be met in the backfield and brought down for a loss on the play. The ball comes out. Now they're going to say incomplete pass. I tell you what, though, Harrison gets back there.
I want to see who made that initial play. Was it 22?
I thought that was Hayes back there. Was it not?
No. It was a corner. I think it was Mason Rose who read it perfectly and met the football at the receiver.
Okay.
And wrapped him up. Of course, once he wrapped him up, the ball came out. And then I'm not sure if it was Dowdell or Hayes. So this is a great situation for us.
So 3rd and 20, as he got a drop back to pass, throws it into the flat, catches the ball, gets back to almost he does get back to the original line of scrimmage, but it does bring up 4th and 10 from the James Clemens 49-yard line, but they're going to bring their punting unit out.
Well, this is where we mentioned field position earlier, right? I mean, you're not going to go for it on 4th and 10 from your 50 or 49. So this is a great opportunity for us to get a return and get in good field position.
Right.
As long as you keep those guys – I mean, I was watching the kicker pregame. We don't want them to cross the 40.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a leg.
He does have a boot. So here we go. Here's the punt, and it's a high over-end punt that's going to go out of bounds, and they're going to say it's at the 30-yard line. So it'll be good field position for James Clemens, 1st and 10 from their own 30. No, they're going to say it went out of bounds at the 35, so even better field position. So moving it up to the 35-yard line for James Clemens. So you can listen during football season for the Wingman podcast. We'll talk to James Clemens coaches and players every week live from Walk On Sports Bistro in Madison. You get to hear it on the PAS Plus mobile app on your Alexa device and online at jcwingman.net. It's every Tuesday, Walk On Sports Bistro. It's 7 o'clock. Check us out. It's the Wingman.
It's a fun time, that's for sure.
It is a blast. All right, back to the action on the field. 2 splits to the near. That's going to be Little and Doty. To the right of Evers is going to be Barry. Evers is going to keep it himself, and he's going to be kind of touched in the backfield. They're going to pull on his jersey, and then it's just a slew of defensive linemen that make that stop.
Yeah, it was that speed option look again. We know he's not doing speed option. He's just looking for a crease inside there. Wasn't much of a crease, and one of those big defensive linemen just got a paw on his shoulder pads, and after that, Evers didn't go anywhere.
So what I'm noticing so far in this first quarter, as we're down to about 3:19 remaining in this opening quarter, knotted up at 7 apiece, is that their defensive linemen, which is very good, they're getting good penetration as well. We just got to get them over pursuing just a little bit. Now Barry lines up to the right of Evers, takes the swing pass out, makes one man miss, past the 40, down to about the 45-yard line. They're going to say he got out of bounds at the 45, so that should be first down. Let's see if we move the chains. If it's not first down, it's going to be 3rd and short.
You know, that time we've done a good job of swinging it out there.
On the play.
We've done a good job of swinging that ball out there, and it's been really successful 2 times before. This time, Florence read it really well, and Cam had to hold up, and Malachi Cooper came in and just buried somebody. We're going to replay it.
Replay the down. It was a loss of 5 yards, so it must have been a holding call on that swing pass. And everything happened really fast on that one.
Yeah.
Normally we would see Barry go into motion, and he just came right out of the right side of Evers from his tailback position, and then it was just a swing pass. It was a short pass. So 2nd and 15 from the 30-yard line is James Clemens. Achenbach goes in motion, now comes back to the near side. 2 splits to the far, going to hand it off to Barry. Barry trying to bounce it to the outside. No place to go.
Yeah, they did a really good job that time. The cornerback on that side really came in and just held his ground with Ty Doty. He couldn't move him out of there. And so they did it much easier to string it out that way.
So we've already had our Taziki's pre-flight show. That's what we talked about in the game in the beginning. Make sure you join us at halftime for North Alabama Gas District halftime show, where we'll bring you up to date on our scores from around the area. That's our North Alabama Gas District halftime show. And now we're going to shift as Florence was able to hold their position and not jump off sides. Evers drops back to pass, and it's going to be a little screen pass underneath to Ty Doty. Ty Doty tries to make his way to the outside, spin move, and gets thrown out of bounds short of the line of scrimmage marker, and it's going to be 4th down and long. And that just once you get one in pursuit, it slows you down. The rest of them just kind of come in.
Well, they're really fast. They're really athletic. That time I thought it was a good job by Coach Truitt to use that same swing pass look and get them all to bite and pursue that way, and then run the screen up underneath. It was a good play call, good play design. Evers put the ball a little high, and that probably held Ty from outrunning the first guy.
So Pearson back deep to receive. He scored the touchdown for Florence earlier as Ortiz kicks it.
Good kick.
Kicks it away from Pearson, and it's going to roll, take a James Clemens roll, down past the 20, down to about the 15, down to the 14. So really good job there by Ortiz flipping that field. So 1st and 10, Florence from their own 14.
He is a heck of a weapon for our defense because we've seen him do that a handful of times this year, just completely flip the field position and put them guys back.
So 1:36 remaining in this opening quarter, knotted up at 7 apiece. And you can download a copy of this game or listen to it on demand by going to pasplus.net. There's a streaming schedule of all of our upcoming games and links to our mobile apps too. So 1st and 10 from the 14 for Florence. As James Clemens lines up in that 3-4 now. We're going to go backwards a little bit with 4 defensive backs. Looks like we're going to go with a little bit of zone coverage. It's going to be another little flare pass out to number 10. He's going to find his way forward past the 20, down to about the 21-yard line. So what I'm noticing from the Florence coaches is they see us going into zone coverage, so they're just going to keep flicking that out there on the side.
Yeah, and I mean, it may be even more simple than that. Kind of the same philosophy we have. If we can get the ball in the hands of our speedier players and get them out there in space, then we're at an advantage rather than trying to deal with those tougher interior guys.
So Florence lines up 2nd and 4 with trips to the near side. One running back to the right of the quarterback. That is Davis. Going to hand it off to the running back, number 10, trying to find his way through. Finds a couple of holes. Finally brought down after the 25-yard line, down to the 26 for a 1st down.
Yeah, barely got enough for a 1st down right there.
So moving those chains, 1st and 10 from their own 26 as we're under a minute remaining in the opening quarter, 7 apiece. As both teams scored on their opening possessions and then stalemated on their second possessions. Now Florence with the 3rd possession of the 1st quarter, still deep in their own territory at their own 26. 1st and 10, 2 splits to the near, 2 to the far. Going to fake the handoff and just throw up in the air, kind of a loop pass, and the feet get tangled up. No call on there, wisely by the officials.
Yeah, I think that's a really good no call. I was about to ask before that play, at what point is Florence going to try and take a shot downfield, right? And then that time they give it a little token fake for the run, and he did. He never even – he didn't try to read anything. He just tossed that ball up there and let his receiver go get it. So great job by the corner on that side of deciding to stay in coverage and not getting fooled.
So Mason Rose on the coverage for James Clemens, covering on to number 2, Reeder. That was the intended receiver. Now Pearson comes in at quarterback, Jayshad Pearson. He's the one that read the option for 30 yards out and put Florence on the board. They're going to have trips to the near side. Expect him to keep it himself. No, he's going to hand it off to the running back, number 7. Again, we got in the backfield. Stiff arm, finally hit, knocked out of bounds. Short of the 1st down marker, down to the 35, but almost a 10-yard run there.
Listen, anybody who's ever listened to us knows that I'm not a big fan of officials more times than not. And if you want to call holding, you can call it on 99% of the plays that take place. But on 3 occasions tonight, we've had holding out in the open field that needs to be called.
So they're going to say he did pick up 10 yards, so it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. So he picked up just enough. Going to be a read option, and Pearson's going to keep it himself. Another hold right there, no call. And he's going to break down the sidelines. Finally goes out of bounds, short of the 40, out at about the 41-yard line in Jets territory. But I'm telling you, man, you're exactly right. I'm watching this pulling guard, and he is basically wrapping up.
He's gonna tackle somebody.
And so, but again, if there's a no call, so you got to call it on both sides.
And I'm good with that, but call it on both sides. Dowdell and Richards that time, guys just got too intense. They were stacked up, and if one had played the left side and one had played the right side, we got to stop early. Instead, they both took the same side.
So trips to the far side, one to the near. Pearson in at quarterback. Read option. Going to give it to the running back, number 7, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield by number 8. That is Gage Olander.
Gage was not leaving any doubt right there.
Oh.
He wrapped him up, and we both going to the ground.
And that was probably a bad read there by number 1, Pearson, on that one. He probably should have kept it himself, but I'm glad he didn't. As the clock strikes 0 as we end the first quarter, all knotted up at 7 apiece. You're listening to James Clemens Football on PAS+.
Local sports are brought to you in part by Limestone County Commission Chairman Colin Daly. Visit the County Commission page at limestonecounty-al.gov to keep up with what's going on in the county and find out what ranks us in the top 5% in the state. You can also call Colin at 256-233-6400 or on his cell phone at 256-800-4544. Applebee's Tailgate Talk wants to recognize our local athletes, and you can help. Go to tailgatetalk.net throughout the school year to vote for the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. The winner will receive a gift card from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and a t-shirt from Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and more. Submit your own nominations for future polls, too. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Cast your vote today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and 1080 WKAC.
Welcome back to James Clemens Football on PAS+. Kirk Pierce, Brad Kimbrough, Tim Lambert here from Brawley Stadium as Florence, the host team, and James Clemens visiting as Florence has the ball for second and long, second and about 15 from the James Clemens 46 after Olander was able to get a nice loss on a tackle right before the end of the first quarter. And so now everybody's trying to get reset, and now we're going the other way. So Florence now will take it left to right for this next quarter. Shotgun formation, Pearson in at quarterback.
Extra pressure from the Jets.
He's dropping back to pass, and then they're going to over-pursue, and then they finally bring him down in the backfield. I think that Tank.
It might have been, but Tank was probably the last guy you expect to get to the quarterback right there. We brought so many extra rushers right there. I think 3 extra. So you're looking at 6-man pressure coming, and he dodged about 3 or 4, but in the end, there was way too many for him to get away from.
So good defensive call there by Coach Gideon on the rush as Tank Ezel gets his first sack of the ball game right here, and what a huge one it was.
Big one. This is the down and distance that Coach McGee wants.
So third and long, as they drop back to pass, is the quarterback, Davis. Just out of the reach of his intended receiver. Well, as he was hit hard, the quarterback was Davis.
Well, James Hollins comes in that time. He's the one that's putting pressure on the quarterback. Didn't get to him, but he forces the early throw, and so that throw was more toward the middle of the field, and the receiver hadn't got a chance to come out of his break.
So that's fourth down. So Florence is going to punt again with Doty lined up at about the 10-yard line. So, again, we did what we needed to do.
Absolutely. And last time they punted, it was at the 49. This time they're punting from the 49.
So we'll see what we do here. So Doty standing at about his 10-yard line. That punt, again, off the side of his foot. It's going to take a bounce, and it's going to take a Florence bounce.
Oh man.
He probably should have picked that one up. It's just going to be down at about the 4-yard line.
Yeah, and Ty thought about it. I think he thought about it twice. That's a tough ball because the way that thing's bouncing and spinning, you could even try to go and cover it up and something crazy happened and it squirted out. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation if you're Ty Doty.
Yeah, he probably did the right thing in letting it go, but it'll be 1st and 10. James Clemens deep in their own territory from their own 4-yard line. So check out the PAS Plus mobile app. It's your connection to all of our live streams, along with scores, game archives, and a whole lot more. Go online to pasplus.net for the download links. So now Doty comes in at quarterback. He's got Barry and Gideon to either side of him. It looks like Little is split out to the near side. So Doty going to keep it himself, cuts back across the field, gets out of that, maybe a yard.
Yeah,
maybe not even that.
Not much there, and it's the same play design we saw with Evers, right? Looks like a speed option look. but Doty's looking for a crease somewhere to get up positive yards, and there was nothing that time.
That defensive front, they are running a 5-man front, and, I mean, they are matched up mano-a-mano on our offensive line, and because of that, you're not able to double-team anybody.
No, and you can't create those creases that we normally do out of running zone.
So what we want to try to do is get to the outside. So Evers under center, going to hand it off to Gideon on the near side. Gideon fights past one tackler, finally gets his way forward down to maybe almost the 6, but still not a whole lot of room there for him to run.
And it was the backside pressure that got to him that time. We kind of staged everybody up in front or stalked them up, and the backside guy gets there.
So brings up 3rd down and 9 for James Clemens from their own 6-yard line.
I tell you what, our offensive line and their defensive line are having battles right now. They are really getting after each other, and you can tell they're getting frustrated.
Yeah, because they're getting really good penetration. Look at that. They even bring another guy up. So now Barry goes in motion. Achenbach jumped just a little bit.
And I don't know if he jumped or if he kind of fell forward and
So that's going to be a penalty. It's going to move us half the distance to the goal there, and that's going to be 3rd and long forever. And that's just not where we want to be. So 3rd, they're going to move it to the 3-yard line. So 3rd and about 12. Got to get all the way almost to the 20-yard line for a 1st down.
It's a long way to go.
So probably going to run this one. Try to get a little bit of distance and see if Ortiz can't come in and flip the field if we can't get this 1st down. So Evers in shotgun. Then they're going to drop back, and they're going to go into almost a man coverage. Now we got 2 running backs in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Doty. Doty's trying to find some room. Does break through. Gets past the 5-yard line down to about the 8, where it's going to bring up 4th down and way too long to go. So maybe a little bit of room for Ortiz. Hopefully we can at least try to get it past the 50 and let that ball roll a little bit and flip this field just a little bit.
We hope so. Not a good situation there, and we talked about it when Doty, doesn't field the ball and it rolls down to the 4. It just creates a tough situation for us.
So they're going to line up. They're going to put 2 in the back to field the punt as Ortiz kicks it. It's a spiraling punt, and it's going to bounce at the 40, and then it's going to take a Florence bounce, and it touched the Florence player. It touched the Florence player.
We're celebrating like we got it.
It should be. Now they're going to say. They said it didn't. I thought it touched the way we were celebrating.
We were awful confident that it did.
Oh my goodness! So it's going to be 1st and 10, Florence from the James Clemens 43-yard line. That is the way it looked. How did it not touch him?
That would have been a big break for us right there, and then we're getting the ball. We're getting the ball back almost at midfield.
So 1st and 10 for Florence. I apologize, getting excited. I was joining the team on the other side because they were all celebrating like they had the ball. So 1st and 10 Florence from the James Clemens 44-yard line. Put a man in motion. Going to hand it off to the running back, number 10. He tries to find some room on the outside. He does. Got one man to beat. Finally tripped up short of the 30-yard line. Now they're going to say he got to the 30, but 1st down on that run.
I'm going to say this. The officials need to take control of this game right now. We talked about offensive and defensive line getting frustrated with each other. Emotions are starting to run high. We talked about some holdings earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a handful of blocks in the back that have gone to no calls. Officials need to start policing this game a little bit before things start to get out of control.
So here we go. 1st down from the 30-yard line of James Clemens. Florence takes the snap. Finally hit in the backfield. Now he held up long enough. Number 73 for James Clemens. That is Tyler Gage. First to get in the backfield and make penetration. Slows up the running back. And then everybody kind of came in for a 3-yard loss.
Really good job by Tyler. First of all, he wears one of the best jersey numbers out there.
73.
Okay, it's a great number. And then 2, I mean, he got small. He's not a small kid.
No, he's not.
He's a big boy. But he got small getting through that gap and then kind of meets the running back. At least held him up long enough that a tackle can be made.
So a 3-man front for us. One split to either side. Now tight end goes in motion for Florence. Snap, low, looking to throw. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And just
hit him right in the wrong spot.
I tell you, and what was even worse about that was we had 2 guys that could have made the interception on that deflection, but both of them were trying to go in for the tackle. So third and long for Florence from the James Clemens 33? Yeah, the 33-yard line. So another third and long for Florence. James Clemens able defensively to keep them from doing that. They'll break a couple of big plays, but we're just able to hold them and get them in third and long.
Well, I'm curious what Florence is going to try and do here, because we talked about the kicker's leg earlier. If they can pick up a few yards, he may be in field goal range.
So putting a man in motion from bottom to top, and now we've got looks like a timeout on the field.
Yeah, I think it was just an attempt to try and draw us off sides and get a cheap 5.
Yeah.
And our defense held in there, and then Florence takes a timeout.
So Florence with their first timeout of the first half, which means we get to go to our timeout with Tzatziki's. And you know what happens there. It's our first timeout of each and every game.
Somebody's winning something.
Somebody's winning something. You go online to pasplus.net and you enter your name for timeout with Tzatziki's and listen during the first timeout of each game here at James Clemens as we announce the winner of a family feast, chicken dinner family feast for 4 from Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe just off of Highway 72 in Madison. And tonight's winner is Linda Arnold. Linda Arnold, congratulations. Linda. You are the winner of our Tzatziki's Chicken Feast for 4 dinner at Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe just off of Highway 72 in Madison.
Love me some Tzatziki's.
Yeah, we get it at every home game, and tonight, being in a way, we didn't get any Tzatziki's.
We still could have.
We could have brought some in. But Linda, you get to go and enjoy a feast of chicken dinner for 4. Congratulations, and you can be a winner next time. Go online to pasplus.net. You can also probably go to jcwingman.net and do that. You'll figure it out. Yeah. But congratulations, Linda Arnold. You are a Tzatziki's timeout winner. Timeout with Tzatziki's winner. Back to the action on the field. 3rd and 14.
Big third down.
For the Florence Falcons. Trips to the near side, one to the far. Coming out of timeout. Low snap again. Quarterback dropping back to pass. Throws it over. And just bounces
off the turf.
Yeah, bounces off their turf. So an incomplete pass. So now what do? If you've got a, I don't know. They're going to give it a shot.
I'm watching. I don't see anybody coming on with a kicking block.
So they're going to punt it.
Yeah, I don't know. No, he's setting up like he's going to kick.
Yeah, he's going to set up from the 40-yard line, which makes it a 50-yarder.
Well, the ball's going to be on the 34, 33.
Yeah.
But the holder is on the 40-yard line.
So that's a 50-yard.
And James Clemens is going to take a timeout.
Yeah, James Clemens wisely decides. Coach McGee's like, let's give him some time to think about it, and calls timeout right there. So, Brad, first quarter action, it was kind of a back and forth a little bit. Neither one of them, they score on their first possessions, both of them, and then neither one of them can get a good drive. Florence shows some drives, but then they stall out. James Clemens, of course, in the second quarter right there, they got bad field position deep in their own territory. One way or the other, we're about to get the ball back. We've got to get some room on the outside and get those fast running backs some green real estate.
Yeah, there's a couple methods of handling a really strong interior defensive front. One, obviously, is if you got the speed to get outside of them, take them out of the game that way. The other one is to trap them, but that's really hard to do when you got 3 in there.
Yeah.
Who are you going to trap?
Yeah.
And then how you block the other guys to keep them from getting there.
So Florence lines up for a 50-yard field goal try. Snap, kick, up, and that one's going to sail left. Oh, and it barely makes it through. I thought it was going to drift left, but he was able to punch that through. Hey, I tell you what, that's impressive. You don't see many 50-yarders in high school.
Well, and it's not easy when you're on collegiate field goal post either.
No, it's not.
These are a little bit narrow than your typical high school field goal post. So he did a great job. And then, that thing just skirted over the bar. I don't know a better way to
52 and it's not going to go.
No, 51 it might not have went. That thing at 51 it's going to hit the bar.
Yeah.
Which way it bounces we don't know.
So with that field goal, Florence takes a 10-7 lead with 7:12 remaining in the opening half. As now James Clemens is going to get the ball back here at Brawley Stadium, home of the UNA Lions. I know this will be the home for UNA for a couple of more years while they get ready to build a new stadium on the campus of UNA, and then Florence will have this all to themselves.
Yeah, got a new stadium going up for UNA, new baseball, new football stadium, and it's to me it's kind of sad. This was the home of the Division II national championship game from like 1985 till around 2005, somewhere there.
We saw 3 in a row here. I was here at school. You were at school.
Yeah, came watched a bunch of them.
So high end over end kick. That one's just going to go out of the end zone, so he decides to not only kick it through the uprights from 50 yards, he was going to give it a shot from the 40 on his side to try to punch it in. So you can listen for the James Clemens Coaches Show every Wednesday morning at 11:05 on 1080 AM WKAC. We'll talk to Coach Chad McGee and get the inside scoop on the Jets. If you miss it, all you got to do is go online to WKAC sports page at WKAC1080.com and click on the James Clemens link to find the archives. All right, 1st and 10, James Clemens from their own 20. Going to go I formation with Barry as the fullback, Gideon at tailback, Evers under center. One split to either side, Doty and Little. Going to hand it off to Gideon. Gideon should have cut it to the outside, decided to cut back to the inside, forces his way forward, still pushing forward, keeping those legs churning, picks up 8 yards on that play.
Well, that's the way that zone is designed. I mean, they're going to keep stringing it out to the sideline if they have to, and you're looking for that opportunity to cut up. As soon as you see one, take it.
I think on that one, he could have come out a little bit more on that because there was a nice little hole out there. But nevertheless, he cuts it up and gets 8 yards on the play. 2nd down and 2 for James Clemens from their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, he picks up 8 yards and we're criticizing him.
I know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Sorry, MJ. I'm not criticizing you. I see things up here. You're seeing things down there. I trust your vision more than mine. So going to hand it off to Barry this time. Barry puts his head down and gets past the 30, down to about the 31. So that's going to be a 1st down, James Clemens.
Man, the way Cam Barry runs when he really, really need those yards, he puts that head down and those shoulders low, and he runs behind his pads as good as anybody.
You know, we talked to Coach McGee the other night. He mentioned some things about Barry. You know, Barry started off as a defensive back when he came in. Now he transitioned over to running back, and we're going to start seeing, because of some losses on defense, we're going to start seeing Barry play dual roles as the season progresses.
And he's capable.
He's fully capable. So pistol formation, Evers going to hand it off to Barry in the backfield. Barry had a hole, and it closed up quickly as he fights his way past the 30, still moving his feet past the 35, down to about the 40-yard line as he got a nice push there from the offensive lineman. Past the 40, they're going to mark him down at the 41. Another James Clemens 1st down.
Man, we're just grinding it, too. I mean, you can tell it's taking a toll on our offensive line right now. They're giving it everything. That defensive front for Florence is really, really good.
So you look at number 79, Derek Thomas. You look at number 55. That's who's that? That's I'm thinking 56, Malachi Cooper.
Yep.
And
55
Ryan Bland. And then you've also got
Tim Coleman and Micah Douglas.
Micah Douglas, you know, and they're just really working hard. And they take these things as a challenge.
Yes.
So now the handoff to Doty. Doty runs into the back of one of his offensive linemen, but still picks up 4 yards on the play, down to their own 45-yard line with 5:20 and counting remaining in the opening half.
Man, that time right there, credit Ryan Bland. He took his defensive lineman and just turned him to create that crease to pick up those yards.
And we've talked to Ryan before. We've talked to Lincoln.
Good young man.
They're those Micah Douglas, all of those guys. I mean, they take, you know, they're not the biggest.
No.
But they hit like they're 2 times bigger than they are.
Yeah, they play with a lot of confidence. And why shouldn't they? They've been successful.
So looks like Kelly goes in motion. I formation. Doty's going to be the tailback. Cuts it to the inside. Makes another man. Finally one man to beat, and just couldn't make Pearson miss. And Pearson, playing dual roles, quarterback and defensive back, makes the tackle short of the 1st down.
And I know what Ty saw right there. He saw, if I can get around this one guy, I'm going to the house. But you just can't move laterally against a defense that moves this well.
And that's probably the fastest man on Florence's team.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So fastest man going against fastest man. And I tell you, it was tough. So 3rd and short as Evers is going to keep it himself and push forward. And finally, Florence pushes him backwards, but they're going to give him his forward progress. And I don't know if he got the 1st down.
It's tough to tell. You know, on the initial push, he didn't. But we're used to that.
Yeah.
And then the support coming from behind him that pushed him. The difference is with Evers tends to look for an opportunity to kind of leak out of that.
Yeah.
And that time when he did, he's just got defenders waiting on him.
So they're going to mark him about a half a yard short of the 1st down. So it's going to be.
We're going to measure.
They're going to do a measurement. So it's going to be 4th down and short. Because I'll tell you, from our distance where we're looking at, we're up in the press box. So we've got good vision right here. And from where we're seeing, I don't think the nose of the ball is past that marker. But we'll see as they come out to stretch the chains. and he's going to be about a half a ball short from the first down. So, Coach McGee, what are you going to do? Your defense is playing well. So do you go for it? I think you do. You cannot give the ball back knowing that if you could sustain the drive for the next 4 minutes, punch one in and get the ball back to open the second half, keep Florence's offense off the field, and get this defense to start getting a little bit more tired.
Yeah, you want to try and play as many snaps as you can offensively just because it wears down the defense.
So let's see what Coach Truitt calls here as Evers, pistol, shift, almost got him to jump, didn't. So going to hand it off to Barry. Barry puts it up to the outside, past the 40, down to the 35. One man to beat, cuts to the inside, finally goes out of bounds. Penalty flag on the play. Dadgummit.
Well, I can't imagine what this penalty would be because you have Ty Doty out there who really didn't do anything egregious when the blocking. He just put a hand on the guy's shoulder pad.
Yeah, they're going to say he blocked in the back. That's what he's doing.
Well, when the guy turns on you, I mean, there's not much you can do there. But nonetheless, great run by Cam Berry that time. We get to the outside, and Ty did a great job downfield blocking for him.
So that penalty is going to move us back. Still, get the first down.
Yeah, we'll get the first down.
Yeah, but it's a spot foul, but that moves us back. But, I mean, he was all the way down to inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he was about the 18, yep.
So now it's still a good run. We're down to the 32 because it is a spot foul, so they mark off 15 yards. But you're right. He did not do anything on that.
No, anything real. I mean, he put a hand on his shoulder. Ty's a smart player. He's not going to do anything crazy right there in that situation.
So Barry is going to be in the backfield with Evers.
If anything, it's kind of a cheap move by the defender to turn your back as you're getting blocked.
Yeah. So Doty and Little split to the far side. Evers, they're going to go with a 5-man front. Barry goes in the backfield. Swing pass out to Barry. Got a good block. Cuts it up. Falls forward for about 6 yards, almost 7. Yeah, they're going to say 7 yards down to the 25-yard line. So a nice pickup there on that swing pass.
Now, I'll tell you what, too, and that's about the third or fourth time we've run that, and Evers throws a really good ball on that. I mean, gosh.
You know what's fixing to happen?
We're going to fake that.
We're going to fake it. We're going to get Little over there on the –
yeah.
Or it might be Doty. So Doty split to the far side. Little comes split closest to us. Barry stays in the backfield. Pistol formation with Evers.
Come on, guys.
And we jumped.
Got to be smarter than that.
And we jumped. And you know what? You could hear the band.
Yeah.
They're right below us.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as we lined up, that's when the drums started heavy.
Yeah, I mean, smart on their part. We're trying to create that tough atmosphere for our offense right now, especially in that situation when they get down here close to the goal, close to the end zone.
So second down as they move it back to the 30-yard line. So it'll be second down and 8. Got to get to the 22-yard line for a first down. So you can hear it as the band slowly picks back up. So now Little is going to be split out. You got Evers. Is that Gideon in the backfield? Looks like it's Gideon.
Yep.
In the I formation. Gideon cuts it back across the grain. Past the 20. Down to the 15. One man to beat. Stiff arm him. Stays on his feet. Finally tackled at the 5-yard line. First down and goal, James Clemens.
Really good run by MJ Gideon. We talk about Cam being that strong guy that runs behind his pads, but MJ is no slouch.
No, he's not.
A strong young man. That time he cuts the zone back all the way against the grain.
Puts his arm out.
Finds an opportunity to get back down to the bottom side of the field where he's got some open field to run in and does a great job. He didn't count on a blocker like Cam did at the end.
No.
He put that stiff arm on him and shoved that kid in the ground.
So now we're going I formation. Little split to the far side. You got Barry as the up back. Now Kelly goes in motion. Gideon is the running back in the backfield at tailback. They are stacking the box. And now Gideon looking for a hole. Cuts it up to the inside. Still on his feet. Down to about the 1-yard line. Ball pops out. We recover it. But they're going to say he was down at the 1.
So I wanted to say prior to the play, when A.J. Kelly came in motion to this side of the line, the defense shifted and then brought down an extra man. They fully anticipated the run play coming to that side, and we had a great opportunity for a weak side play. We ran it, but, man, Florence just did a great job of getting 2 defenders in the space for one blocker,
So everybody in the box is going to be a quick pitch to Gideon. Gideon fights his way forward.
Man.
Touchdown, touchdown, James Clemens!
Mans his way into the end zone that time, running through arm tackles, almost ran over a guy at the goal line. Great play call, great run by MJ Gideon.
So Gideon gets on the board with 1:41 remaining in the opening half. So 1-yard touchdown run by MJ Gideon, adding to his total. I believe that's 9 on the season.
Let's double that.
I'd love it. Ortiz lines up for the extra point. Kick is up. And it's through the uprights with 1:41 remaining. James Clemens with the first lead of the night. 14-10 your score. You're listening to Jets football on PAS+.
When Keith and Amy Richards went on a Greek vacation in 1997, their goal was to create savory foods from simple ingredients. Thus, Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe was born with their healthy spin on traditional Greek food in the form of salads, gyros, sandwiches, and soups. Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe, located at 105 Brookridge Drive, Suite A, just off Highway 72 in Madison. Open Monday through Sunday, 10:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. Call 724-6554 or visit them online at tzatziki'scafe.com. Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe. Originality is our nationality.
Back to James Clemens football on PAS+ as MJ Gideon punches it in from 1 yard out with 1:41 remaining in this opening half, giving James Clemens its first lead of the ball game, 14-10. Your score over the Florence Falcons. So, Coach, what do you do here if you're Ortiz? Do you pooch kick it or you try to put it in the end zone?
You know, they don't have anybody back there by the goal line. I'm going to try and put this thing over those deep guys' heads.
But you can look and see what he's about to do. He's pooch kicking it. Surely we're not doing an onside kick. No, we're just going to pooch kick it. It's going to be a high kick, and it's going to be
ball
on the ground. Now he picks it up, and now outruns his coverage just a little bit down to about the 30-yard line. So they got 70 yards to go for pay dirt, but we know that they really only got to get to the 40-yard line, 35-yard line,
the
really.
35, yeah. Maybe the 33.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you. That
for safe measure. I don't know if he can pull another 50-yard one out.
I don't know, man. That adrenaline's going. So we'll see what happens. Oh, man, I tell you, we get excited here in the press box, but 14-10 your score. This is a big region matchup.
At least we forget we are homers.
Yeah, we're very much so. So Florence going to line up with trips to the far side, one to the near. Quarterback takes a low snap, going to hand it off to the running back up the middle. The ball's on the ground.
We just talked
James
about
Clemens
it.
gets the ball.
We just talked
James
about
Clemens
it.
recovers the fumble on the handoff. I tell you, Coach.
We just said we got to get a turnover early in this drive.
So 1:29 remaining in the ball game. First turnover of the night. We get a fumble recovery, and I tell you, it's those low snaps between the center and the quarterback.
Well, something happened there with Florence because the right tackle started to flinch a little early. The right guard looked like he was kind of undecided. Something was going on there. You got the low snap.
Yep.
And then trying to get that handoff, and we saw the running back fall, right? And I thought maybe he just wasn't going to run into the teeth of the defense. But no, he was trying to recover the ball.
So right now, we have an opportunity to at least get 3 points on the board before we go into halftime.
Well, we're really close to field goal range for Ortiz right now. So let's be smart. Let's take care of the football right here with 1:29 left and put points on the board before we go into the halftime.
So we're going to go 2 splits to the far as Doty is in the backfield with Barry. Doty's going to take it, try to string it out to the far side. Finally pushed out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. So it's going to be second down as he only picks up about 3 on the play.
And that's okay. Like we just talked about. Let's just move the ball down the field. We don't even have to pick up a first down.
Right.
But we're going to eat up a little bit of time or eat up their timeouts. Let's take care of the football and keep us in field goal range.
So if you notice, we're playing to the near hash mark, which tends to be Ortiz's spot.
Okay.
So I've noticed that he likes it from that side, being a right-footed kicker.
Well, let's help him out, man.
So Doty and Little split to the top side. Has got Barry and Gideon in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Gideon. Gideon.
Good read.
Goes to the far side, still on his feet, puts his head down, finally tackled short of the 15-yard line at about the 16, so it's going to be third down as the clock's going to continue to run at 1:11 and counting.
And we were talking about their vision versus our vision earlier. That time, great job on him because the initial hole that opened up, he knew it was closing.
Yeah.
And he waited for the next one and then ends up running through an arm tackle and picking up a good gain.
Such patience within these backs of James Clemens. Now we're going to hand it off to Barry. Barry looking to get – no, that's Gideon again. Finds another crease. Penalty flag on the play. It's going to be holding. Going to be another hold.
Yeah, I would think it would have to be.
Because we're stringing it out as he was able to get to the 10. He got the first down, but we're going to mark it. Let's see what they're doing. So we're going to mark it where the spot was, where the penalty occurred, which the penalty occurred at about the 18. So it's going to move us back down to the 23. Goodness.
That's tough.
Goodness. So 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8 with 48 seconds remaining. We still have 2 timeouts. Clock stops, and it's going to wind up and go now. So trips to the near side. Barry to the right of Evers. Evers going to roll out, looking to pass.
He's got him.
Throws him right there, hits him. That looks like it's Little trying to get out of bounds. Finally goes out of bounds inside the 5, down to about the 4-yard line. They're going to say he went out of bounds at the 5. So 1st and goal, James Clemens, with about 34 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's a really good play design right there. Let's move Evers out from behind the offensive line, get him moving, and if it opens up to run, just pick up positive yards.
Sure.
But that time Little sat down kind of on top of the numbers and posted his defender up, made a good, easy throw for Evers.
So that's what makes Little a Division I recruit right there. Going
I think
into
so.
Air
Just
Force.
being
Just
smart about the zone,
His
finding
height,
an area in the zone. Yeah.
Everything about him. So that's good. They use him when they need him. So now you got Gideon and Barry in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Gideon again on the I formation. He's going to cut it back to the inside, still on his feet, looking for a push. And they're going to whistle him dead at about the 2-yard line, maybe the 1.5-yard line. And now we finally get a timeout on the field.
Yeah, it's Coach McGee's timeout right there. He's going to be as safe as he can with this time that we have left, the 24 seconds we have left in the second quarter.
So it'll be 2nd down. So it's his second timeout, 2nd down, as the ball is spotted at about the 2-yard line. So 2nd and goal for James Clemens. And I think what we're looking for, obviously, we want to get a 21-10 lead going into halftime.
No question, but you also have to be smart with your time management. So probably the smart thing to do here is try that quarterback sneak again.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we feel like we should be able to get those 2 yards with our offensive line.
Absolutely.
But if you don't, then you let that time run down, take a timeout, let's kick a field goal.
And go up by a touchdown.
That's right.
Yeah. So best case scenario, that's what we're looking for. Or best case is
best case we get it in.
Get it in.
We get it in the end zone and we leave them about 20 seconds to do something with.
Yeah, so I tell you, that is exactly what we want. Now listen, you can enter your name for the Lawlers Fan of the Week at PASplus.net. We'll announce the winner during the Bankston Motorhomes post-flight show of each James Clemens game. The winner gets a gift card from Lawler's Barbecue, and we'll announce that during our post-game show. That's the Bankston Motorhomes post-game show. It's our Lawler's Fan of the Week right here at PASplus.net. All right, back to the action on the field. 24 seconds remaining on the first half clock. James Clemens, 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. James Clemens has 1 timeout remaining.
Well, Florence is thinking the same thing. They're getting down there ready for it.
So Evers.
Oh, he's going to turn and toss it.
It tosses it to Gideon. Gideon gets into the end zone. Touchdown! James Clemens. 2 yards out. Gideon with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And why wouldn't we do that? Because it worked. The same play worked for us last drive. Just turn and toss to Gideon. And then the other thing is, Florence thinking the same thing we are.
Yeah.
It's going to be a quarterback sneak the whole way to try and get those 2 yards. They pack it in tight defensively, and there's almost nobody out there for Gideon.
So we turn the turnover into some points right before halftime. Ortiz, extra point up and good. With 21 seconds remaining, your score, James Clemens 21, Florence 10. You're listening to Jets football on PAS Plus.
Mellow, a state of mind, a culture, a way of being, and the philosophy behind Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers. Since 1974, their mission has been to provide delicious food in a fun and creative environment. The originators of hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza, Mellow Mushroom makes their pies with high-quality, fresh ingredients to elevate the dining experience. So mellow out at Mellow Mushroom, a higher order of pizza in Huntsville at 470 Providence, Maine, and 2230 Cecil Ashburn in Jones Valley.
Welcome back to James Clemens Football on PAS Plus as Tim throws it back to me, and we were having a conversation, Brad.
You kind of bobbled it a little bit, but you reined it in.
You reined it in. I'm so excited because we have reeled off 21 points right here. We said it during the break prior to kicking off after we scored a touchdown to take the lead, and we talked about it during the break. We got to get a turnover here. Then you mentioned it, and what did we do? We get the turnover right there on the first play.
And turn it into a points where it's a 2-possession game.
So a little sky kick over to the side, and it's going to be fielded at about the 35 as he falls forward to the 20-yard line, to our 40-yard line.
That is a dangerous depth to be sky kicking, because if he catches that thing with a step. All he's got to break is one tackle, and there's nobody that has a chance at him. If we're going to sky kick it, I'd like to do it a little bit deeper, maybe about the 25.
No kidding. So that was a little bit of a shallow one because I know Florence has got just as much speed as we do.
Yeah.
So
and maybe more in certain positions. So let's see what they do here. I mean, 2-possession game. Do they get risky with 18 seconds left?
Well, I mean, we're getting the ball back right off to start the second half, which is not the third quarter has not always been our best quarter.
Yeah,
so
quite the opposite. Yeah.
I know. So we want to really put this one, keep them from getting in. So they're going to hand it off to the running back. He makes one man miss, still on his feet, past the 45. That should reel it in to finish. I don't think coach is going to call a timeout.
Coach is sending them in.
Yeah, let's go to the house for halftime. So your halftime score is going to be James Clemens 21, Florence 10. Stick around. We'll have the North Alabama Gas District halftime show when we return. You're listening to Jets football on PAS+.
Here's what's on the Jets' radar. On Saturday, varsity volleyball will play at Athens High School in the Janet Latham Invitational, and cross-country teams will run in the Jesse Owens Classic in Oakville. Freshman and JV football will be hosting Florence on Monday. Then on Tuesday, JV and varsity volleyball will be on the road for tri-matches at Buckhorn. The varsity will host Coleman on Thursday, and varsity football will travel to Sparkman next Friday. We'll be back with more coverage from PAS+.
When Keith and Amy Richards went on a Greek vacation in 1997, their goal was to create savory foods from simple ingredients. Thus, Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe was born with their healthy spin on traditional Greek food in the form of salads, gyros, sandwiches, and soups. Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe, located at 105 Brookridge Drive, Suite A, just off Highway 72 in Madison. Open Monday through Sunday, 10:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. Call 724-6554 or visit them online at tzatziki'scafe.com. Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe. Originality is our nationality.
One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. North Alabama Gas District has provided safe, reliable, and economical natural gas service to Madison and surrounding areas of Limestone County for over 40 years. However, accidents and leaks do sometimes occur. If you smell odors similar to rotten eggs or notice other possible signs of a gas leak, such as a fire or explosion, a blowing or hissing sound, or blowing dust or bubbling water, leave the area immediately, avoid ignition sources, warn others, and from a safe location, contact us immediately at 256-772-0227. And remember to call 811 before you dig. North Alabama Gas District, we take safety seriously.
Welcome to the James Clemens Halftime Show on PAS+, powered by North Alabama Gas District, serving Madison, Muscle Shoals, and Town Creek. Call 811 before you dig.
Welcome back to James Clemens football right here on PAS+. 21-10 your score. James Clemens on top of Florence at halftime. We're going to take it to the field and let you listen to the James Clemens Marching Band as they perform their tribute to Elvis.
Tonight, come along with us and celebrate the one, the only king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley! And now under the field direction of
That was the James Clemens Marching Band bringing you the tribute to Elvis. They always do a great job each and every halftime. You can check them out next week at Sparkman, or come back to our home game in 2 weeks against Austin and hear them at home, and you can hear that tribute. We're still at halftime, 21-10 your score. James Clemens on top of Florence. We'll take a break, and when we come back during this North Alabama, I'll get all my promos and shows and everything, Brad. I'll get that figured out. North Alabama Gas District halftime show. We'll bring you some scores, and we're also going to talk to Coach Brad Kimbrough about the softball season coming up in the spring. You're listening to Jets football right here on PAS Plus.
North Alabama Gas District has provided safe, reliable, and economical natural gas service to Madison and surrounding areas of Limestone County for over 40 years. However, accidents and leaks do sometimes occur. If you smell odors similar to rotten eggs or notice other possible signs of a gas leak, such as a fire or explosion, a blowing or hissing sound, or blowing dust or bubbling water, leave the area immediately, avoid ignition sources, warn others, and from a safe location, contact us immediately at 256-772-0227. And remember to call 811 before you dig. North Alabama Gas District, we take safety seriously.
Bankston Motorhomes, with locations in Alabama and Tennessee, carries an extensive inventory of motorhomes, including Class A diesel, Class A, Class B, and Class C motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, toy haulers, and tent campers from manufacturers like Tiffin Motorhomes, Fleetwood, Forest River, and many more. Bankston Motorhomes also has an experienced service department to help you with any service work or parts or accessories you need. Bankston Motorhomes, Huntsville, Florence, Albertville, Ardmore, and Nashville, helping families like yours build memories for over 40 years. Call 1-800-624-2899 or visit them online at bankstonmotorhomes.com.
We know you want to look good. Chopping Blades Barbershop knows it too, and they're passionate about making their clients look great. Men, women, kids, doesn't matter. You can just walk on in their location at 7985 Highway 72 Suite 2 in Madison, or call 256-325-3230. Check out Chopping Blades on Facebook too. Chopping Blades Barbershop.
At Walk-On Sports Bistro, our love for the game, community, and heart of a walk-on make you feel like family the moment you walk in. Wings, shrimp, and burgers made from scratch, wall-to-wall TVs, and signature drinks. Founded by two LSU walk-ons, Walk-On Sports Bistro brings the cuisine, the culture, and the community to life. Always fun, never forced, and our doors are open to anyone. Walk-On Sports Bistro, 8368 Highway 72 West in Madison. Walk-On Sports Bistro.
Ready to show off your film IQ? Ready to show it off during James Clemens football? Maybe it sounds like trying to mix oil and water, but hey, we're just trying to have a little fun. Listen for our in-flight movie quote during James Clemens football coverage on PAS Plus. We'll slip in a line at some point during our play-by-play commentary, and if you can identify the movie that it's from, text the answer along with your name to 434-1PAS. That's 434-1727, and you could win a $10 credit from Honest Coffee Roasters in Madison. The in-flight movie quote from Honest Coffee Roasters and PAS Plus.
Welcome back to James Clemens football right here on PAS Plus at halftime. Your score 21-10. James Clemens on top, and they'll get the ball back when we come back to football action. But right now, during the North Alabama Gas District's halftime show, I want to talk to you about some of the scores we've got around the area that might be of interest. In Muscle Shoals right now, Muscle Shoals up 35-14 on Athens. That's in the second quarter. Lawrence County 28, East Limestone nothing in the second quarter. Tanner 32, Tharptown 6. That's at halftime. Hatton with a 12-7 lead over West Limestone. That's close to halftime there. Austin with a big lead over Huntsville, 31-13 at the half. Gunnersville 34, Grissom nothing in the second quarter. Bob Jones with a 5-point lead over Sparkman, 21-16 in the second quarter. Lauderdale County 23, Clemens 6 in the second. Sheffield 33, Elkmont 20. That's in the second quarter as well. That's your North Alabama Gas District scoreboard, serving Madison, Muscle Shoals, and Town Creek. Always call 811 before you dig. As we continue on with the North Alabama Gas District halftime show, bring it back to the microphone. My partner in crime here, doing color commentating right over there to the right of me here at Brawley Stadium. Hometown, kind of, for you, Brad. I mean, you know, this is kind of a homecoming for you, but we could talk about your UNA days. We could talk about all of those things. You and I both got some commonality. We spent some time here at Brawley doing some stuff when we were at UNA. For me, I was here. But really, for you, people know you as also the softball coach, and I know we got a spring coming up here soon. I got to get through the winter, but you got a new facility, you and Coach Johnson, and everything. So what's the softball team looking like for the spring?
Our softball team is going to be – we're going to look new for a lot of reasons. I mean, we came into a tough situation 4 years ago and really overachieved our first 2 years. Last year, I kind of got away from some of the things that we had done, and for a lot of reasons, we had a miserable year.
Sure.
In wins and losses, and really in every aspect. So we're going to go back to old school Kimbrough, doing things the way that things are supposed to be done, and really implementing, not just implementing, really enforcing that county line culture, and there's a way to do that. Listen, I'm a firm believer there's a way to do things,
Sure.
And especially when it comes to kids and coaches. And I've been successful in this. I know how to be successful in doing this. And ultimately, I know how to make young kids successful.
Sure.
Right? So, and speaking of young kids, that's what our team's going to consist of. I mean, we are very, very young for a 7A program. We've got a really strong freshman class, and some of those kids are going to play varsity softball.
Yeah.
They're going to trial by fire.
Sure.
But they're good enough, they're talented enough to do that. We just got to get them ready to play at that level. The same way with our sophomores. Our sophomores were our strongest group last year. We're really junior-led as far as experience goes. We have 3 juniors, and we only have 1 senior.
Yeah.
And she has virtually no varsity softball experience. She's young as far as experience. So from top to bottom, we're really young for a 7A program, but I'm really excited about this group of kids. They're a great group of kids. They have bought in from day one in what we want them to do, and they have busted their tails through the summer in the weight room. They continue to bust their tails in the weight room in the fall. They've done a great job in everything they ask them to do, and they really seem to enjoy each other.
Sure.
And enjoy the process right now.
Yeah.
So we're excited about the group that we have over the next 4 years.
Well, and you talked about them being young. I've seen some of these players coming in from Liberty and knowing what they've got over there and feeding into the James Clemens program. But you can use the football team as kind of an example of trial by fire, because this senior team that we have, we've talked a lot about that. You can use them as the example. Hey guys, we know you're gonna be facing some tough 7A competition, but you're going to get better each and every year. Look at what we're capable of doing. By the time you're seniors, we're talking area wins, we're talking playoffs, we're talking all kinds of things.
Well, and those are our aspirations early, because in softball, we get to play so many games.
Right.
Whereas in football, and I coached football for 10, 11 years, and of course I love it, but in football, you're so routine because you're playing 1 game a week, and there's Mr. Anderson.
They're shooting fireworks.
Mr. Anderson at TNT cut him some fireworks, I think his son's on that team that they honored at halftime. So Keaton Anderson, who went and played at Alabama.
Goodness.
When you got TNT fireworks right here at home, that's an easy do. Listen, in the 2026 season, we're going to hit so many home runs at the Jetsplex. We're going to have fireworks.
I tell you what, we need to get a sponsorship for that. Definitely have fireworks.
I'll call Mr. Anderson and see what I can do on that. But we have those aspirations now because we get to play so many games. We don't have to wait till next year to be that much better.
Yeah,
we can improve every 6-7 games. We should be improving. And our young kids are doing that right now.
Sure.
The little things that we can coach them up on. They're so coachable.
Yeah.
And, that's what you want as a coach. Where we are right now going into year 4 is where you felt like you should have been in year 1.
Sure.
So, it's hard to say anything other than I'm really excited about this group. Are we going to come out and set the world on fire in wins and losses? No, we're not. Yeah. But we're going to be so much more competitive. This is the first year that I'm really putting in about half of my system. We just weren't able to put in about 3/4 of my system and what I like to do for a number of reasons. We weren't able to do a lot of that. Now we can do that. We're physically capable. We're smart enough.
Sure.
We're deep enough in different positions that we can do that. So it's fun coaching these kids up. It's fun watching them work. And we will get better once we start playing, because you can learn from one game to the next game to the next game to the next game. And when you start filling all those things out, I mean, again, we're not going to come out and win 30, 40 games when you got freshmen and sophomores playing a lot. But at the end of April, we could be really in a good position to go into the area tournament and feel good about it.
Well, and you've also got some consistency on your coaching staff.
100%.
And so you've got some really solid coaches that are there to help you and teach these kids what's the right way to win and to put the ball into play and make the definite fielding plays that they need to make.
Yeah, Coach Clark, our associate head coach, Coach Brooklyn Clark, she knows softball.
Sure.
She was good at it, and she knows it. And she's become a phenomenal coach over the years. She loves our kids, man, and she works hard with them. So she's excited about that indoor facility more than anybody, She's so looking forward to the opportunity to have practice in that facility and be able to get those swings in that we couldn't get before when the weather's bad, For her and I, it's a constant battle because I want to practice more of the defense. I want to run our first and third plays. I want to get catchers working against base runners. And the whole time, she's wanting to get more swings in. No, we need to hit. We need to do this. We need to do T drills. And so we stay in, discussions over that. But she does a great job with our kids. And, I mean, there's no way I could do this without her. And then, of course, Laney Rich and Kenzie Gillis and Sydney Sanders. I mean, they keep it fun, but, they invest in our kids a lot.
Well, that's the grand finale. You can hear it right there. Good Lord. We're going to take a break. You're listening to James Clemens Football on PAS Plus.
This has been the James Clemens Halftime Show, powered by North Alabama Gas District, serving Madison, Muscle Shoals, and Town Creek. Call 811 before you dig. We'll be back with third quarter action on PAS Plus.
North Alabama Gas District has provided safe, reliable, and economical natural gas service to Madison and surrounding areas of Limestone County for over 40 years. However, accidents and leaks do sometimes occur. If you smell odors similar to rotten eggs or notice other possible signs of a gas leak, such as a fire or explosion, a blowing or hissing sound, or blowing dust or bubbling water, leave the area immediately, avoid ignition sources, warn others, and from a safe location, contact us immediately at 256-772-0227. And remember to call 811 before you dig. North Alabama Gas District, we take safety seriously. Local sports are brought to you in part by Limestone County Commission Chairman Colin Daly. Visit the County Commission page at limestonecounty-al.gov to keep up with what's going on in the county and find out what ranks us in the top 5% in the state. You can also call Colin at 256-233-6400 or on his cell phone at 256-800-4544.
Whether you have college recruitment or simply memorabilia in mind, let Social Gimmicks capture them with a cinematic highlight reel. Social Gimmicks is redefining Southern sports media with a distinctive flair. Contact Social Gimmicks with a Z online at socialgimmicks.mypixieset.com. Social Gimmicks, the essence of athleticism.
Join us for Applebee's Tailgate Talk every Saturday morning at 10 on WKAC. We'll talk to coaches and sports figures of local interest and get their thoughts on whatever comes down the pike. We'll also announce our latest Athlete of the Week and give away an Applebee's gift card and a Tailgate Talk t-shirt. Applebee's Tailgate Talk, Saturday mornings at 10 on your PAS Plus app, on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device, online at tailgatetalk.net, and on the air at 1080 WKAC.
Welcome back to James Clemens Football right here on PAS Plus. Kirk Pierce, Brad Kimbrough, Tim Lambert at Brawley Stadium for second half action. 21-10 your score. James Clemens on top of Florence as James Clemens is going to get the ball to start the second half. Coach Kimbrough, wrap it up a little bit of softball. Thanks for that. I know for me, calling some of these softball, I learned so much.
Yeah?
Watching, yes, calling the games, watching you. I'm not going to critique you.
No, please do.
No, it's not.
Please do. My entire staff does.
I'm like, dude, the slap swing, I've watched so much softball now because of being a part of James Clemens. Of course, I'm always going to pull for Alabama.
Yeah.
But dude, just watching the SEC and then watching what you guys do, it's so much fun to watch softball.
And you got to see McKenna King the last 2 years for us, who did a wonderful job as a leadoff, who's playing at South Carolina State now.
Yeah.
But she was one of the real true multi-threats at the plate.
She really was.
She could slap bunt and beat it out. She could punch that ball into a gap no matter how you played her. Or she could stand still and swing the thing. I mean, she could swing it. So she's really good, and we wish her the best at South Carolina State. She's going to do a good job for them.
Well, if you guys want to come out and see some James Clemens softball, make sure you come out this spring and check out the facility. It's just a great thing to watch, and just cheer the James Clemens Jets softball team and baseball team on, because we'll get Coach Johnson to talk about the upcoming spring ball for him as well, because he's also got a young team coming in. So that'll be exciting.
Man, I watched them scrimmage about a week or two ago out there, and that was fun to watch. Some of those guys are ahead, I think, of where the staff thought they would be. Yeah, making some plays.
So we get ready to take the ball first to start the second half. Just as kind of quick recap, as Florence struck first with 9:41 remaining in the opening quarter for a 30-yard touchdown run, and then they had a 50-yard field goal to put them up 10-7. Of course, Barry was able to punch it in from 6 yards out with 5:44 remaining in the first, and then it's pretty much been all James Clemens. Gideon scored on a 1-yard run and then a 2-yard run right before halftime, and now the ball is kicked and fielded at the 15-yard line. Plenty of room to run it to the outside, past the 40, still on his feet, puts his hand down, stays on his feet, gets to the 50, down to the 49-yard line. Who was that? Number 9? Was that Miles Major?
That's what it looks like.
Miles Major it looked like a line drive kicked straight into his chest, and he fielded it and returned it all the way into Florence territory. 1st and 10, James Clemens from
once he caught it, he turned and looked back at Ty like, do you want this? And then he decided, I'll take it.
He's got it. And so, and now they're going to move it back. So nice little block in the back.
Well, that's something we haven't called the entire game.
Goodness.
I guess the officials had a halftime discussion, too, about what we're going to start enforcing.
So that moves that good
There's a holding.
hold. Okay. And they're going to move that good return all the way back to the 22-yard line.
That's unfortunate.
That is.
You know, I thought the first half our offensive line showed a lot of resiliency and some consistency. They need to keep that going through the second half if we're going to hold this 2-possession lead.
So we're going to line up in the I formation. You got Barry and Gideon in the backfield. We're going to hand it off to Gideon. Gideon trying to find his way. Tries to bounce it to the outside. Met at the line of scrimmage. Now falls forward short of the 30-yard line, down to about the 28-yard line. So good pickup there. He's got to get to the 32 for a first down.
But, man, that's what both of our backs can do. They can hit that zone, find a way to get around a guy or two, and then even when you make contact in the second level, they're going to keep driving those legs, pick up another yard or two.
Well, the goal right here with a 11-point lead is to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible and don't stop the clock.
That's it.
So same formation. Gideon in the backfield, going to hand it off to him to the far side. Now he's going to cut back to the inside, still on his feet, makes another man miss, finally dragged down short of the 50-yard line, picks up the first down to the 48-yard line. Gideon gets on his horse and rides.
Well, really good vision again by him, and that's what that zone will do. You see Florence really pursuing to the outside.
Yeah.
That time they left very few defenders to the backside, and MJ recognized it quick and cut it back.
So MJ continuing to use vision that he is known for. Now he's going to go to the sidelines, and Barry's going to be in the backfield by himself, along with Lively, Doty, and Little split to the far side. So trips on the other side as Doty comes in motion. Evers takes the snap, hands it off to Barry to the near side. Barry gets past the 50, down to about the 47-yard line of Florence. So now we are in Florence territory. They're going to say he went down at the 48. Still a nice pickup there of about 5 yards.
No, very good pickup just to keep us in manageable down and distances. And so far, this has started off to be a really good drive. Our offensive line has got great angles, and we're just not allowing defenders to get a good angle on those backs.
So Evers going to go pistol, trips to the far side. Barry, the lone back behind Evers. Evers going to take the snap, swing pass out to Doty. Doty catches it at the 50, cuts it back to the inside, still on his feet past the 40. Finally, shoestring tackle as he makes it down to the 32-yard line, continuing the drive. Again, Evers with that nice swing pass, the exact touch we talked about.
Oh, man, perfect touch, and he's putting it right in the bread basket where those guys never have to check up. They don't have to change stride, and we did a great job of blocking on the outside. Doty cut it back kind of early, and it started to look like one of those plays where Doty's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
He just couldn't get away from it.
We got to get a T-shirt made.
Yeah, we can do that.
Doty happened. All right, Evers, pistol, Barry behind him. Now Tripp's going to move to the near side. Little, Lively, and Doty as Doty goes in motion to the far side. And now we're going to go Barry to the other side. And he's going to bust it up the middle. Still keeps his balance. Spin move. Hits the circle.
Goodness.
Touchdown, James Clemens.
Oh, my gosh.
Barry, 32 yards to the house for another James Clemens touchdown.
And he was stumbling for about 20 of those yards. He got so much forward momentum coming out of there that he just stayed off balance and he's stumbling, but he can't regained his balance, shuck a tackler, and then works his way into the end zone.
Ortiz lines up for the extra point.
Ortiz on the kick.
Kick up, good, 28-10 your score with 9:24 remaining in the third quarter. They did just like they planned it at halftime. Jets on top by 18. You're listening to Jets football on PAS Plus.
Athens Utilities comprises Athens Electric, Athens Gas, and Athens Water Services. Together, we are committed to providing reliable and affordable electricity, natural gas, and water and wastewater services. We operate as part of the City of Athens, and just like our city's motto of Athens is classic, Southern, character, we believe in supporting what makes our community special. And that includes local sports. Call 233-8750. Come by our office at 508 South Jefferson Street or look for the link online at athensal.us.
Welcome back to James Clemens Football on PAS Plus as Cam Barry, one of the permanent captains, brings it in from 32 yards out with 9:24 remaining in the third quarter, takes the opening drive all the way down. That's about a 78-yard drive there to take the score, 28-10. James Clemens on top as Ortiz kicks a pooch kick, and it's going to be fair caught at the 32-yard line by Florence. So Florence gets the ball back. So you have to ask your question as looks like Ortiz.
What question do you want me to ask?
Well, hold on. Ortiz is on the floor, on the ground, holding his knee. He must have tripped after he pooch kicked it because he slipped.
Well, let's go back for a second. So that's the difference. We talked about it on the last pooch kick. That's the difference in kicking it down to about the 25 and the 35. On the 35, that guy had an opportunity to run with the ball. The 25, there's a lot of pursuit coming his way, and he's going to fair catch it. Yeah, I didn't see what happened to Ortiz right there.
I think what it looks like is he tripped over the tee after he pooch kicked it, and he's kind of hobbling. He's
ginger, that's for sure.
He's definitely doing that. So my question was going to be, as he gets off the field, and hopefully now he's starting to put a little weight on that. Looks good. Hopefully we'll be all right there. But my question, Brad, what I was going to ask you is, at what point do you punch? I mean, we're up 28-10 right now. I mean, I'm not saying. 18 points is 18 points. That's good, but
not safe.
It's not safe, but you keep punching, and eventually you got to believe Florence is going to start to feel the punch.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, if they don't get something going on this drive, they're going to start to feel it then.
Yeah.
Especially if we turn around and put another score on.
So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line of Florence, as we're going to go with a 4-man front. Looks like we're bringing somebody on the backside, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper on the read option. That's at Pearson, number 1, and he finally falls forward past the 40-yard line, picks up the first down, and there's that read option.
Yeah, that was a true read that time, and he did a great job, made the right read. And look, we're pursuing pretty heavily. One of the best things we've done in the first half was our defensive pursuit. That time, following the back out there who carried out a good fake. And then that quarterback is elusive.
So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line of Florence, as Pearson's going to stay in at quarterback. He's the quick back that plays defensive secondary as well. He's going to give the handoff now to number 7 as he runs to the near side and finally falls forward at the 49-yard line of James Clemens. Positive yards there, still short of the first down by a couple.
Well, they talked at halftime about some things that work for them and some things they want to go back to and try. Yeah. And this is definitely on the list. I mean, where most offensive coordinators script, first 10 plays of a game.
Sure.
I wouldn't be shocked if they had a pretty close to a script for their second half.
So 8:26 and counting in the third quarter. James Clemens 28-10 over Florence. They're going to go trips to the far side. One split to the near. Pearson in at quarterback, still with number 7, Carter Graves in the backfield. Going to fake the handoff to him. Pearson's going to keep it himself. Finds himself a running lane, but he runs so fast that he can't get his feet underneath him. But he still picks up the first down all the way into James Clemens territory, down to the 43.
Yeah, and unfortunate for us that time, we were bringing extra pressure off the far side. If the play had been going that way, he might not have got anything.
Yeah. But nevertheless, he came to the other side and picks up the first down. So stick around for the Bankston Motorhomes post-flight show as we announce our Mellow Mushroom Player of the Night. Our featured jet will get a gift card from Mellow Mushroom. Back to the action on the field. 1st and 10 for Florence at the James Clemens 48-yard line. Pearson, quarterback. Snap, goes underneath. He's gonna have to do something. He's got to get past one guy, and he does not, as number 22, Mason Rose, comes in there and makes the tackle. Huge loss on that play.
Yeah, we see Mason make those kind of plays, right, where things start happening in front of him, and he doesn't kind of lose his composure. He doesn't lose responsibility, and he did a great job that time of just kind of trickling toward the quarterback for the busted play.
So with a loss of about, that's at least 12 yards.
Yeah.
So it's going to be second down and about 22 for the Florence Falcons as they're all the way back to their own 46-yard line. So trips to the far side. Now you've got Davis in at quarterback. Low snap. Fields it. Looking to throw. Throws it across the middle. Hits his man at about the 41-yard line. So nice pickup there as he gets down to the 41. Makes it 3rd and manageable. I say about 3rd and 8. As opposed to 3rd and still 22.
Yeah, Miles Taylor upset with himself. We rolled coverage to the far side of the field just pre-snap. Quarterback read it well. He stood tall, and he threw that ball right behind Miles Taylor's ear just like he's supposed to. Miles felt like he should have come up with a deflection.
So now you got Pearson in the backfield along with Graves. Pearson in at quarterback. Trips to the near, one to the far side. So he's going to fake the handoff, keep it himself, go to the far side. Everybody's in hot pursuit, and finally hit out of bounds. Penalty flag on the play as he was already out of bounds as that hit was hard.
It was a very hard hit, but that was one of those tough ones where the quarterback knows he's going out of bounds, but as a defender, you're not 100% sure he's going out of bounds. And once your momentum is there and he's 2 feet out of bounds, it's definitely a penalty.
Yeah, and
he wasn't trying to do anything egregious, but he's coming in to lay a hit.
He's coming in hot.
He's coming in like a missile.
So that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct, late hit out of bounds against James Clemens.
And it was.
Yeah, that one was no doubt. So that's going to move it all the way down to the 26-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Florence at the James Clemens 26.
Man, that's tough. The penalty is because we pretty much had that drive stopped at that point. We did a great job of stringing it out. The quarterback couldn't get around the edge like he has been, and we had the drive stuffed.
So that was going to be 4th down there. But now here we go. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line at James Clemens, as you've got Pearson and Carter in the backfield. Now you've got the play clock down to about 15 as everybody's trying to get set. Now they got a man in motion coming from the near side to the far side. Pearson's going to keep it himself. And there's Cam Berry right there playing, and Cam goes in there and makes the tackle. I tell you what, and that's what we knew. Coach McGee talked about this. Cam Berry is going to be playing, and he's playing outside linebacker there.
Yeah, he's used to that. You know, Coach McGee talked about he played there as a sophomore some and knows that position pretty well. And look, we've done it at every level. You know, if you're at a 2 or 3A school, even a 4A school, a lot of guys are playing double positions.
Sure.
But when you got a stud, sometimes you got to use them in 6 and 7A.
You got to get him out of the stable, and here he is out there now. He's on coverage as they're going trips to the near side. 2nd and about 9. Ball's on the ground. Now quarterback picks it up, hands it off to number 7, Carter. Carter is going to be wrapped up and brought down at the 25-yard line, trying to get a number there to see who that was. It looks like it's number 4.
DJ Davis.
DJ Davis in there.
We haven't called his name on tackles tonight, but the guy's been everywhere. He's been physical.
So that was a 4-yard pickup, so it brings up 3rd down and it's a long 6 as they've got to get down to the 16-yard line, and they are at the 23.
You know, you talked about Ortiz falling after the kick earlier. On this drive, twice an offensive lineman has slipped and fell coming out of their stance. And maybe the turf's kind of gotten slick down there. Maybe it's damp. I'm not sure.
Maybe it was the fireworks.
Could have been.
So now you've got Davis coming in at quarterback. He's going to have a running back to his right. He's the throwing quarterback, and it's going to be a low snap again. We got pressure on him as Cam Berry comes in, overthrows his receiver as Cam Berry gave the quarterback a little shoulder bump on the way in.
Yeah, it was good pressure coming in, and Cam coming with the late pressure, which was a big difference in that one. Quarterback sets up and then sees pressure coming through. That's going to force you to make that throw early.
So definitely a disrupted throw there for his intended receiver, number 2, Reeder, as he was in the end zone, and that just was an overthrown ball. So he's going to stay in at 4th down and about 7 is what they're saying. So 4th and 7 from the 23-yard line. Again, they've got to get to the 16 for a first down. Low snap again. It's on the ground. He picks it up
one-handed.
One-handed. He's got to get rid of it. He throws it off his back foot. Ball's thrown up. Makes the adjustment. Makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown.
Wow. What? Okay, odd play there. The snap's on the ground. Quarterback reaches down with his left hand, picks it up. He has to roll out of the pocket and then just flips the ball in the end zone just on a prayer.
Yeah, he did.
And the deepest receiver was trying to come back to it and couldn't. The underneath receiver went and got it.
Made the adjustment.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was kind of a crazy play.
So Florence able to answer with 4:39 remaining in the third quarter. Kick is up, and it is good. With 4:39 remaining, your score, James Clemens 28, Florence 17. We'll take a break. You're listening to Jets football on PAS Plus.
If you're looking to make your business stand out, save yourself some time and make Apparel Lab in Madison your first call. Apparel Lab will help you grow your brand with custom t-shirts and hoodies using their unique direct-to-garment printing. Laser engraving can put your design on mugs and tumblers. Plus, they can help with custom-designed hats, stickers, banners, signs, decals, and much more. Apparel Lab. Call 344-4656 or visit them online at apparellab.inc and on Facebook and Instagram. Located in the Madison Mall Shopping Center on Old Madison Pike. Apparel Lab.
Welcome back to James Clemens football on PAS Plus. 28-17 your score with 4:39 remaining in the third quarter. James Clemens on top after that nice touchdown reception in the end zone on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah, it was. It was just somebody trying to go make a play. The quarterback threw it up there hoping somebody would make a play, and they did.
The ball was snapped low, and he picks it up with one hand and throws it. But I tell you, he's 6'4", and he's a junior, and he just, he palmed the ball and threw it up. So Here we go. Kick is up high, end over end kick. It's going to be fair caught in the end zone by Doty, and it's going to be 1st and 10, James Clemens.
You know, we've eaten up most of the third quarter with 2 drives.
Yeah.
If we can kill the rest of this third quarter with this one possession right here, that's big time because we're still sitting on a 11-point lead.
Right. So we need to keep driving. We need to keep these running backs using that motor that they have and keep going.
Well, ball control has been our game.
Sure.
Right? From week 1, it's been put the game on the backs of the offensive line and those running backs. And we've only increased that every week.
Absolutely.
And they've done a great job with it.
So it looks like Gideon's going to be in the backfield with Evers as Doty and Little are split to the far side. Now Doty comes into the backfield to the right of Evers. So it's going to be a handoff underneath to Doty. Doty trying to find a way at the outside, doesn't get to the line of scrimmage, tackle for a loss.
Against a defense like this, you're not going to see Doty break those long runs because his running style is get to space.
Yeah.
Right? Be elusive. Where MJ and Cam are going to run through that guy at first impact or first contact. And a defense like this is putting so many guys in the box and saying, we're going to dare you to throw it.
Yeah.
Run at us if you will. It's going to be really hard for Ty Doty to break a run from the backfield.
So with that loss on the play, they lose 2. So 2nd down and 12 from the 18 as now Doty goes in motion. Quick pass out to Lively. Lively fields it on the outside and tried to make it to the outside. Gets to the original line of scrimmage. Probably should have cut that one in, but I see what he was doing because that cornerback was kind of had an angle on him on the inside.
Yeah, he's reading the second defender. And if A.J. Little stays with his block just a little bit longer, you've probably got the sideline to pick up 5 or 6 yards.
So 3rd and 10 for James Clemens. Got to get to the 30 for a first down as Lively and Little split to the near. Doty goes to the far. It's going to be Berry in the backfield to the right of Evers. Evers puts Doty in motion. And now Doty looking for an underneath pass to Cam Berry. Falls in and out of his hands. 4th down.
Oh, man.
So it was going to be just an underneath pass, and it was in Barry's hands. I don't know that he would have gotten the first down, but he definitely would have gotten some yardage, and Ortiz comes out. That's good to see.
Yeah, first down would have been tough right there, but, yes, you'd like to pick up a few extra yards.
So Ortiz is back on the field after having a little slip-up on the kickoff after the touchdown. Kind of walked off on his own power, put some weight on the leg, and now he's good. So he's going to line up at his 5-yard line and try to punt it deep. And he does. It's a nice punt. It's going to be fielded at the 50, and now the ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground.
That's
James
JC
Clemens.
ball.
That's got to be JC's ball. Just point it. Just point it. Just point it, officials.
No way they're going to say he's down. Surely not.
They're not going to give. I'm waiting on them to
Well,
point.
now I thought the white hat just motioned.
Yeah, they're giving
He
it
did.
to. Okay,
Yep,
finally.
James Clemens football.
Clemens ball. So another turnover for James Clemens. Picks up another fumble. That's what we needed after getting stuffed deep in our territory with 2:59 remaining in this third quarter. So 2 fumbles tonight for the Falcons. And now James Clemens has the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 49. So now we're going to hand it to Gideon. Gideon looking to find some room. Got a penalty flag on the play. Got another probably a false start or a hold. That's where it's coming. One or the
It's
other.
a hold. That is a friend of mine down there making that call. We'll have that discussion after the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I'm not saying that.
Little home cooking.
I mean, it's definitely been one-sided on the calls.
I'm gonna get on Newton.
There it is. There it is. So that's going to move us back deeper into our territory. So it's going to be a 10-yard hold, moving us to our own 39-yard line. So 1st and 20, replay the down with 2:51. So let's get out of this quarter. Let's make this drive last through the quarter. And into the fourth, 28-17 your score, even though the scoreboard doesn't say that. They just refuse to give the extra point.
That's just one. Just one.
So Barry goes on the swing pass. Evers tosses it out to him, finds a crease, finally picks up about 4 yards on the play, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and about 16.
I'm not sure what the goal right there was. The offensive line showed sweep this way, and then, of course, we swing pass it out the other side. We're obviously trying to get them to bite on something. You know, you mentioned earlier showing the swing pass and then taking a shot deep.
So we'll see if we get to do that, because we haven't done it yet, but we've definitely set it up. If that's an opportunity, we need to. Hopefully, Coach Truitt has got that one on his playbook. I'm
sure he is not shut up on the headset. He is constantly coaching.
So Lively goes in motion. Going to fake the handoff to Barry, to Gideon. Fling it out to Little. Little picks up a couple of more yards, down to about the 46-yard line. So still brings up 3rd down and about 13 for the Jets. So penalty proved costly, as we're still fighting to get back. Still fighting our way to get back to midfield.
I'm curious. I'm curious what Coach Truitt's trying to set up.
So 3rd down and 14. We might see it here as Barry in the backfield. Now we shift.
Didn't get those cheap ones.
No, we did not. So Little split to the near side. Counter action to Gideon. Gideon, nowhere for him to go. Slung down, loss on the play, 4th down.
Oh, man, I feel bad for Ryan Bland right there. It looked like he was the only guy who didn't seal his block, and that's who made the tackle in the backfield.
And once that one got through there, then the rest of the Florence Falcons were able to come in and finish them off. So 4th down as we're lining up to punt again with 48 seconds and counting remaining in this third quarter.
What are the chances we get lucky right here on another muff punt?
I mean, I would love that. So high snap. Ortiz fields it, kicks it. Spiraling kick.
Good time for
and
the
he's going to wave
team.
Fair catch. It's going to be fielded at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Florence from their own 30 with 29 seconds remaining in the third quarter. James Clemens with a 28-17 lead, even though the scoreboard says 16. I tell you, the scoreboard operators refuse to give them the extra point. And I'm fine with that, but, I mean, I'm just not going to short them.
They probably appreciate that, Kurt.
Well, you know, I'm here to serve. That's
you
what I
are.
do.
You're just a man of the people.
So you can follow PAS Network on Instagram, Threads, and X, and look for PAS Network on Facebook. We'll keep you updated on scores via Score Stream tonight and throughout the week. Make sure you stick around for our Bankston Motorhomes post-flight show where we'll announce the winner of our Mellow Mushroom Player of the Night and our Lawlers Fan of the Week. Now, Florence puts a man in motion. Look at a pass. Throws it out into the flat. Fielded by number 7. That's Carter. Carter gets the first down and then some as he crosses the 40 down to about the 43-yard line. So first down for Florence as the clock winds down to 23 seconds.
We talked about us being suspect to that earlier.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're showing it. Florence is going to stick with it. We talked about at halftime, they're looking at what they have done that's been successful.
Sure.
They're going to stay with it. They're going to find those things, especially as we get down to the fourth quarter.
So now the clock starts to run as they're going to run the clock out to start the fourth quarter. And we'll take a break here in just a second as clock clicks to 3 zeros to end the third quarter. Your score, James Clemens 28, Florence 17. You're listening to James Clemens Football on PAS+.
One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. Stick around after local high school football coverage this season as we announce our Lawlers Fans of the Week. Just go to PASnetwork.net and register. Then listen during the postgame show of each regular season game as we pick the winner of a $20 gift card from Lawlers Barbecue. The next Fan of the Week could be you from Lawlers Barbecue and Play Action Sports.
Welcome back to James Clemens Football on PAS Plus as we start the fourth quarter as they hand it off to the running back, number 10, and he's going to be met in the backfield by number 41, James Hollins, from the defensive end position for a loss on the play of about 4, so it brings up second down and 14 as we start fourth quarter action here at Brawley Stadium.
James Hollins, I mean, there was no doubt on that play. James Hollins comes in, makes the tackle in the backfield, wraps him up. The great way to start for us.
So I like the fourth quarter, starting them off with a loss. So 4 yards on the play, or 4-yard loss on the play. So second down, 14 down to the Florence 39-yard line. Put a man in motion. Now they go trips to the far side. Low snap again. Got to get rid of it. Throws it to the underman, number 2, and he's going to be ridden down by number 22, Mason Rose, as that screenplay did not work at all, Brad.
And when you say ridden down, there's not a better description. Mason wrapped him up early and just held on for dear life. He kind of drug Mason about 7 or 8 yards across the field, but no gain.
No gain on the play, so it brings up 3rd and 14 for the Florence Falcons.
Yeah, Florence is going to talk about this one because they realize how important it is, this particular drive, to keep it going. If they don't and they turn this ball back over, we've shown the ability to put drives together that eat up 4 or 5 minutes even. So this could be the end of the game if we put together a drive right here.
So you can listen to the Wingman podcast every Tuesday night as we get to talk to James Clemens coaches and players every week live from Walk On Sports Bistro in Madison. You can hear it on your PAS Plus mobile app, on your Alexa device, and online at jcwingman.net. It'll be myself, Brad Kimbrough, Coach Johnny Johnson. We'll have Carson Austin, what otherwise known as Stretch. Also, Tim Lambert, our producer extraordinaire, live from Walk On Sports Bistro on Highway 72 in Madison. That's the Wingman podcast. And we get to talk to the coaches about tonight's ball game, and that's this Tuesday night. And hey, listen, just come out there and join us at Walk-Ons. I mean, we have a lot of fun, a lot of food. And,
it is fun.
And there's just lots of great things. I mean, we do the AI countdown, top 5 countdown that's super cheesy. But, we do what we do, man.
That's by design, right?
It is by design. It's nothing but opportunity there to just do what we got to do.
It is fun. It is a lot of food. It's a good time.
So my son has gotten to the point now, I took him home some of the bread pudding.
Oh, yeah.
And so he tried it, and he was like...
He's locked in.
He was locked in
yeah.
the first couple of bites, and then by bite 3, he was like, it's too sweet, but he finished it.
Oh, he's going to finish it.
So he finished it.
Tim took some home 2 weeks ago, and he doesn't know who ate it.
Well, I took home the other night, some beignets.
Okay, how'd that go over?
I didn't even get one. So, that's just the way it goes.
Come to Walk-Ons. I mean, we normally have a fan club on Tuesday nights out there. A lot of people come by and see us, and
It's a lot of fun.
Enjoy the show.
So third down and about, what did we say? Third down and 15.
Oh, you're better at math than me.
Just look at the scoreboard. So they got to get all the way down to the James Clemens 47 for a first down. Low snap on the ground. Quarterback picks it up. Now he's got to get rid of it as he's got some people in pursuit. Finally put him in his arms and wrap him up and sling him down for an incomplete pass as he was able to get rid of it before he did go down. But now it brings up fourth down.
Didn't get the sack, but still the same intended result, right? I mean, we got a lot of pressure on the quarterback at due times tonight. They've done a great job of putting pressure in his face and forcing errant throws.
So fourth down and 15 as they've got their punting unit on as Doty's going to line up at about his own 30-yard line.
If we're going to see a fake punt, right now is it.
So now you see Gideon come in on punt return. Now he's going to go onto the line. So it looks like we're going to send some people here, or at least give the impression. And Gideon does break through, and the punt. Oh, we had somebody back there. Now Doty's got to back up past his 20, fields it at about the 17.
No!
Block in the back.
No!
Dadgummit, just go down, Doty. Just go down. Just go down.
We've been so random with these calls tonight. And look, as somebody who coached for 5 or 6 years in this area, and I love this area. Don't get me wrong, I love this area. But as somebody who coached in this area for 5 or 6 years, I'm not surprised.
So block in the back is the call, and we'll see what they say.
Yeah, but Johnny does a good job of ripping on the Huntsville Association officials. I'll get the North Alabama Association over here in Colbert and Lauderdale County.
Well, I mean,
apparently we're happy with our limestone officials that we use.
So they're going to make us they're going to make it. What are they going to do here? So I think they're going to make them re-kick.
Well, hang on, let's get this official call.
Yeah, let's get the call here.
A legal formation.
Oh, legal formation and a hold. So offsetting penalties. So it's going to be definitely a re-kick. So that's good.
Well,
in a roundabout way, that's good because it offsets and we re-kick. And we did send the house, and we almost got somebody back there to block it. I don't think we're going to do that again, but we could. I mean, at least now they're thinking about it because they know we're sending the house. We've got 9 people lined up on the front ready to come in, and we jumped off sides, but we did not call it. So that's actually a worse punt, and it's going to hit and take a James Clemens bounce, and it's going to be fielded at the 33-yard line. So James Clemens is going to get it 1st and 10 from their own 33.
Yeah, we're probably pretty lucky that didn't hit one of our players. There's just a lot of people standing around when that ball hit the ground.
Johnny just sent a text, said, hey, apologize to them.
Who do you want me to apologize to?
Who knows? He wants us to apologize to the officials because it got called back as an offsetting penalty.
Well, we only caught the second penalty.
Yeah, we didn't catch the first one. We go with what we see, Johnny. So now we come out of the huddle quickly, and now we're going to do a quick snap and give it to Gideon around the far side. Gideon breaks through, still on his feet, finally pushed out of bounds short of the 50-yard line, but does get the first down. So Gideon had a lot of room to run there and just was not able to make the cut, but does get the first down, but it does stop the clock at 10:14 remaining.
I don't know who got the kick-out block. I want to say A.J. Kelly because he came from that area, and that would make sense because that little physical joker is just out there pounding people. But whoever got the kick-out block did a great job opening the lane for MJ that time.
So you got Doty and Little split to the near side. You've got Kelly. He's going to go in motion. Yep, he does. And then you've got Gideon in the backfield behind Evers. No, that's Barry. Barry's going to take the handoff. Barry's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Does fall forward short of the 45-yard line down to about the 46 for about a 3-yard pickup.
And I'm sure that's all Coach Truett's thinking right now. 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, right? The clock's running. We're eating up time. We still have a 2-possession lead.
Yeah.
And so the more time we eat up right here and positive yards we pick up, we're in great shape to win this ball game.
So 2nd down and 7 to go. Got to get to the 39-yard line for a first down.
I feel like we have to say that for all the people who think you're supposed to score every time you have the ball.
Yeah. So now we're going to let the clock run down a little bit as it gets down to about 5 seconds. That's when we're probably going to snap it, and we do. Hand it off to Barry again. Barry trying to find a hole. Does. Falls forward and still on his feet. Finally just falls down because somebody had him by the ankles. He picks up another 3 or 4 yards on that one. Brings up 3rd down and short for the James Clemens Jets. About 4 yards to go maybe.
Those are the same people that think you're supposed to throw a strike every pitch too.
Yes. Yes, only if your kid's on the mound.
There's a lot of people out there that think every pitch is supposed to be a strike.
So 3rd and 4 as we come in tight bunch. Everybody's in tight as you've got Barry in the backfield. Quick pitch to, no, that's Gideon. Gideon just creaks his way through, picks up the first down, goes out of bounds, stops the clock. So 1st and 10, James Clemens.
Once again, offensive line and running backs are the ones that we have put this game on their shoulders, right? So in a crucial situation in the game, let's just keep moving the ball behind those guys.
So what we're doing is we've continued to run 3 plays in a row to the short side because we're on the far hash mark, and that does not get them enough opportunity to kind of spread us out.
Well,
I mean, we're bunching up.
And it's toward the James Clemens sideline.
Right. So we're bunching it up. Now Doty comes into motion, gets in the backfield along with Barry. And they're going to hand it off to Doty. Doty trying to find a crease. Puts his shoulder down, falls down to about the 35-yard line. So a pickup of about 3 on that play. So again, 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, that pursuit has been so strong by Florence's defensive front that once you break through that gap, there's not much for you.
So 2nd down, need to get to the 27-yard line for the 1st down. And we're just going to run the clock down as far as we can as the clock has stopped. Now it's stopped at 8:30 because it went out of bounds. So might as well just snap it when we can. So I formation, Barry and Gideon in the backfield. Little split to the near side. So going to hand it off to Gideon. Gideon tries to cut back to the inside, wrapped up, but still picks up positive yards as he gets to the 30-yard line for a 3rd down and about 3.
Yeah, he kind of danced his way through right there just to make sure that he picks up some positive yards. But we're in a great situation here on down and distance where we can keep it manageable.
So they're going to say 3rd and 4, so 3rd down, but we're definitely within, I'm not going to say definitely within Ortiz's field goal range.
But we're close.
But we're getting there. A couple more yards, and we should give it a shot if we don't make this 3rd down. Definitely 4-down territory here because they're deep in their own territory, and Florence would have a long way to go. So we can hand it off to Barry to the far side. Barry cuts it out to the inside, gets the 1st down, past the 25, down to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10, James Clemens.
I don't think we were ever going to go to Ortiz. Coach McGee went down there and stood at the 1st down marker.
Yeah,
and I think he was going to gauge it on how close we were and go for it 4th down. Ultimately, we don't have to.
That's it.
Picked up another set of downs.
So 1st and 10 from the Falcon 23-yard line. As Barry in the backfield, Doty, Little, split to the near side. Achenbach and Kelly tried. They started in motion. Now Kelly goes in motion again. Yeah. Poor Kelly's going to be out of breath before he sets. Barry just pounding into the inside, down to the 20-yard line as he picks up 4 more yards. 2nd down and 6 for James Clemens.
And you're exactly right. That's all we're doing right now is just pounding the football away. And if you're Florence, you got to feel really helpless over here on the sideline because you can't get back out there because you can't get a stop.
Can't stop them. And that defensive front's got their hands on their hips.
Oh, they're winded
and they're
for sure.
Definitely winded. So our offensive line, undersized, albeit giving them all they want on that defensive front. So you've got Evers and Barry in the backfield. Little split to the near side. Now Doty comes over here close to us, along with Achenbach and Kelly. Giving it to Barry to the near side. Barry just runs into a whole slew of blue jerseys and takes a loss on the play. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10 as he lost about 4 yards on that one.
Yeah, probably the worst we've done of sealing the backside tonight, and there was nowhere to run the football.
So now Lively comes in. Kelly comes out. Look to the sidelines. Clock's going to keep running. We're almost at 6 minutes on the game clock. We're at 19 and counting on the play clock. No hurry here.
Why should they?
No, as Evers is going to take this one down as far as he can. We've still got all 3 timeouts. So now we get ready and set. Clock is at 5. Got to get ready, guys, or we take a timeout. Coach is going to take a timeout wisely. Yeah. He knew what he was doing. So 3rd down and 11, because they're going to say he lost an additional yard on that one. So 3rd down and 11, but the clock goes under 6 minutes, Brad, with 5:49 remaining.
And we're in great position. We talked about it before. We got a 2-possession lead right now. We're in control of the football. Yeah, it's 3rd down, but I think we're in field goal range.
Oh, no doubt. We're right at the middle of the field where the ball is spotted right now. Spotted at the 24-yard line.
So if we don't take a loss on this play, we should be fine for Ortiz to put another 3 on the board. And we've eaten a lot of time on this drive, which is what we said we were setting out to do, right?
Yep.
3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, and eat up as much clock as we can. Force Florence, when they come back on the field, to absolutely have to score.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and force them into a box that's much easier for us to defend.
So when we come out of timeout, which is right now, 3rd and 11, ball at the 24-yard line, we've got to get all the way down to the 13-yard line for a first down. So we're going to go trips to the near side. That's going to be Little, Lively, and Doty. Looks like Barry in the backfield with Evers. Probably going to be a swing pass to the near side. And Evers is going to roll to the near side. He's got an option, and he throws it. And he hits. Who does he? He hits Little. Little goes out of bounds at the 9-yard line, picks up the first down. I thought Evers was going to tuck it and run.
Throw might be an overstatement. He shot-putted that ball into a little window
from his ear hole,
and it surprised the linebackers who were in coverage.
I agree. They were all coming up.
Yes.
And so Evers, with a smart play there, probably had the option to tuck it and run.
Yeah, definitely.
And then saw Kelly sitting there pretty, picks up the first down. We're at the 9, 1st and goal, James Clemens.
Now you really feel helpless if you're on that Florence sideline.
So now you've got Barry in the backfield. Doty comes in motion. Going to hand it off to Barry. Barry cuts it to the inside. Met at about the 6, falls backwards to the 7. That's where they're going to mark him down. So 2nd down and goal at the 7.
1 block away that time from scoring.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, just 1 block away.
So now Gideon comes in. Doty goes out. Lively goes out. So going to be a little bit of a bigger package on this one as Little is going to split to the near side. You're going to have Kelly and Achenbach in at tight ends. So Evers is going to go under center, I formation, Barry the up back, Gideon in at tailback. Going to hand it off to Gideon. Gideon looking to find a crease. Gets to the 5-yard line. So brings up 3rd and goal from the 5. No hurry, guys, as we're under 5 minutes and counting on the play clock, and on the game clock.
And again, no need to. We talked about it before this drive started. Just ball control, ball control, ball control. And this may be one of the best drives we've put together all year.
I agree.
As far as just maintaining that ball control and picking up positive yards on 99% of the plays that we've had.
So 4.5 minutes remaining in the ball game as the play clock gets down to 15. Evers, pistol formation. That looks like Gideon in the backfield. Little split to the near. Gideon going to take a counter.
Little counter look.
Yeah, and he's still on his feet. Gets down to about the 2-yard line before he lost forward momentum. They're going to say he went down at the 3. So 4th and goal from the 3. Hey, no need to bring him Ortiz out.
Nah.
We either punch it in or they've got 97 yards to go.
Well, it looks like you had a kick team get ready down there, but no, I agree.
So we're going heavy packages. I think I see Barry and Gideon out there. Achenbach, Kelly, and Little. So let's see what they do. They're breaking the huddle. That's exactly what they're doing, going with the heavy package. And it's going to be a quick pitch, and we false started. Yeah. We weren't set. Did not get set on that 4th down. So let's see what Coach McGee decides to do here. But still, put it under 4 minutes as the clock stops at 3:44 remaining in this ball game. That is an uphill climb for the Florence Falcons as they're down 11 points. 28-17 your score. So that's going to move us back 4th and goal from the 9.
I'm going to tell you, they must not have a lot of confidence in whatever happened to Ortiz earlier.
Yeah.
Because 3 points would make it a two touchdown lead, right? I mean, that's a big difference because if Florence were able to figure out a way to get 2 possessions out of this, a score and then an onside kick, recover, 2 touchdowns will win the game for them.
So Coach McGee is going to let the play clock go down and the game clock tick, and he's going to call another timeout. So that's his 2nd timeout of the half. So timeout on the field, 28-17 your score. And
I'm looking, and I don't see Ortiz down there. He's certainly not in the huddle with them right now. So I'm kind of curious what Truett's going to have right here. I mean, now we go from 4th and 2.
Yeah.
To 4th and 8.
Yeah, fourth and goal from the 2.
So
now you're 4th and goal from the 8, And, I mean, you could just toss something up into the end zone like they did and try to get a lucky, possession. I mean, they've still got to drive 96 yards.
Yeah, the scary thing about that, though, Kurt, the scary thing about that is, what if you give up an interception return, for 100 yards,
right?
And then Florence gets an opportunity to turn around onside kick and gets. I mean, you got to be really, really careful about what you choose to do here because you really want those points, but you can't have a turnover. You can't. It can't be meaningless.
So Evers is going to stay in at quarterback as Barry and Doty and Gideon all come out onto the field. Kelly, Achenbach are out there as well, I believe. I see Kelly. I see Achenbach.
You can't miss Achenbach.
No, I see Doty lined up, and now it's going to be a direct snap. No, it's going to be
double pass.
Double pass as Gideon's going to try to keep it himself. Now he runs to the near side. He's going to be held up. I see what they were trying to do, but you know what? He did the smart thing and not throw it up. Now it's a turnover on downs, but
yeah, we're not hurt right there. I mean, you're looking at just a bit over 3 minutes. They're going to have to drive the field and do it twice.
So they've got 92 yards to go for a touchdown. So 1st and 10 from the 8 for Florence Falcons as Florence decides to take a timeout as well in the second half. They've got one remaining, so 3:09 left on the game clock.
I don't think they took a timeout.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's just them huddling up before they come out.
All right, I'll give you that one.
And a possession change.
So we'll say one timeout. They still have 2 remaining. That's why you get paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
So 2 splits to either side. Now a man comes in motion from top to bottom. Low snap again. Fake the handoff. Swing pass out to number 11. Block in the back. Not going to call it. Now we're going to bring him down, force him out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. So they're going to say he went out of bounds at the 14. So it's still second down and about 4.
I like the play call, but with the row that they have in front of them, that's not going to get it done.
No, you're going to have to start taking some deep shots. So I wonder what Coach Gideon's going to call. He's not going to go into a prevent. We're going to go with a 4-man front. So a 4-2 alignment in a zone coverage. Looking to get rid of the ball is the quarterback. He's just going to tuck it and run and slide short of the 20-yard line. I think he went down about a yard short of the first down, and he did. So 3rd and 1 as the ball is marked at the 17.
Man, I'm shocked at those first 2 plays for Florence. I mean, knowing how far they got to go and the points they've got to get on the board, I'm surprised at the play caller.
Definitely not a lot of urgency on their side.
No.
Clock is at 2.5 and counting. Quarterback is Davis. He looks, trips to the far side, takes a low snap, hand it off up the middle to the running back. Running back's going to get the first down, barely, as he gets it by about a half a yard. So 1st and 10, once they set the chains, the clock starts. And it's at 2:22 right now. So again, no sense of urgency here by the Falcons.
No, I'm kind of baffled.
So now 2 receivers on either side. Low snap. Got to get rid of it. Throws it towards the sidelines, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 13. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 2:06 remaining. 2nd and 10.
More than just the lack of urgency on their part right now, it's almost lackadaisical.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the perception is, the body language just says, we think this game's over. I mean, we don't have a chance to win.
I mean, I know they're not. They've got plenty of time in the pocket. Part of the problem is the low snaps.
Yeah.
Look at that. He's having to squat all the way down. Now throws it across the middle to nobody, as the only person there close to receiving the ball would have been Will Richards, number 5 for James Clemens, from the free safety spot, and it fell in front of him before he could get to it.
Well, they had an open receiver in the middle of the field, crossing across the middle of the field, but he just overthrew it.
Yeah.
And credit that to all the quarterback pressures that we've gotten throughout the game. We forced him to throw the ball earlier than he wanted to, more so than not throughout the entire game. And that time, I think the same thing.
Plus, those low snaps causes you to lose a half a step every time.
100%.
So he's in shotgun. One running back to his left. Puts a man in motion. Low snap. Bounces off the turf. Now he's got to get rid of it. Throws it deep. Got a man. It's going to be tipped. Oh, almost picked off. Was that Miles Taylor?
Yeah, it was Miles.
Miles comes up and tips it and knocks it down for 4th down.
Well, the dangerous part is when Miles tipped it up, it gave the receiver a second chance at it, and there was nobody in position to make a tackle had he caught that football.
No, he would have been gone. So 4th down They've got to get to their own 29-yard line for first down. So 4th and 10 as the ball is at the 19 with 1:56 remaining in this ball game.
Yeah, this is the game for Florence. I mean, if they don't get it here, then they are definitely out of the game.
And I'm not so sure they got to get more than a first down. I mean, they've got to get some yardage here as we're going to put some pressure and we're going to bring him down in the backfield. He's still on his feet, was able to twist his way out, finally stopped short of the 30-yard line down to the 28.
This is going to be really close to a first down.
They gave him the 29. I don't know that he got that, but we might have to have a measurement. I think he's short. I think they gave him a nice spot because where his knee hit was the 28. But they're saying the 29, and that's what he had to have. I think they're going to give him the first down. Coach McGee questioning it, so the official's going to take an official timeout to bring in the chain gang on this 4th down.
It is a hometown association. If it's that close, let's give it to them.
That's up to you.
And look, to be honest with you, the way Florence is playing right now, we could give them 2 more.
Yeah, it's a minute 46 remaining in this ball game, and give them the first down.
Look, 7-3's back on the field. I love it.
Yes, he is. Oh, Tyler Gage. I think he's short, dude. No, look at
Gage?
That. Look at that.
That's a good spot.
Nose of the, seriously, I'm going to say it. You couldn't have wiped a booger on there and made it any longer.
It's quite possible.
I tell you, man, that was as close to turnover on downs. Goodness. All right.
Let's see if it gives them any spark, because so far in the first part of this drive, I'm telling you, Florence looks so lackadaisical. Even that time, I thought the quarterback was just going to go down at first contact and not even try.
So now the clock starts. Once you move the chains, ball bounces off the turf again. Gage gets back there, throws it out of bounds, incomplete.
That's twice it's just come off the hands of a receiver on this drive.
Dude, that's 4 snaps in a row from the center to the quarterback that have bounced up into the quarterback's hands off the turf.
I bet he's a good baseball player because he does field the short hops really well.
I don't know. Johnny would know. Cade Davis is the quarterback, so he would know if he plays baseball.
Johnny will text here in a second.
Yeah. So trips to the far side, one to the near. Davis, quarterback. That one went right to him, so that one didn't bounce off the turf. Throws it across the middle, caught at the 35-yard line, driven back. They're going to give him forward momentum to about the 37. So 3rd down and 3.
Well, and you hit on it earlier. When he gets a good snap, he's able to keep his eyes down the field. He hits his target a whole lot quicker and better. He's got better vision, obviously. There's definitely a correlation into when he gets a good snap and they complete balls down the field.
So timeout on the field. Florence does take their second timeout. They've got 1 remaining with 1:22 left to play in this ball game. So I tell you, man, as we get ready for the Bankston Motorhomes post-flight show, 11-point lead right now for James Clemens. And we really, at this point, I got to be honest with you, Brad, if I'm Coach Gideon, I'm just putting people back deeper. I'm going into zone coverage.
Okay. You're not going prevent yet, right?
No. But I might go into a dime. Coverage. You could go nickel or dime on that coverage. I'm just throwing things out there. I'm waiting on you, the defensive mind, to bring something into the table.
Well, you're going with a dime. I don't even know if we have a dime package. I think we're okay sitting in cover 2. We're putting pressure on the quarterback all night long, so we're going to force him to make plays. If he finds a guy open, let's make the tackle and move on and play another down. There's not a lot of time left in this game. So I appreciate you calling me a specialist, by the way.
I do, man. You're a specialist.
Okay.
We're special. Here we go. Trips to the near side. That's a false start, but they're not going to call it. And it's going to be a thrown-up ball. It's going to be picked off by number 15, Miles Taylor with the interception.
He's only had 3 chances at one tonight.
Finally
maybe
picks
4,
up one.
And he finally decides, I'm going up. He did a great job of reading the quarterback, reading the receiver's route, and then he went up, and he didn't just take the ball. He goes up and high points the ball, and then did the really smart thing, ran 5 yards and slid down.
So 3rd turnover in the game for the Florence Falcons, and that one proves to be even the most costly, as that's probably pretty much going to wrap it up with 1:22 remaining in this ball game. And Miles Taylor with a great interception to keep us undefeated in region play.
Well, that was the goal, right? We come in here tonight against a very tough Florence defense, see what we're capable of. Think after the way we were tested last week and tested ourselves.
Yeah.
But after a great game against Spain Park, we want to come out and we want to get back into region play. And Florence was going to test us. Well, I thought we did a great job of handling that test.
So I'm going to point something out to you real quick. Barry with the handoff picks up 5 yards on the play. Watch the defensive linemen. They're not even in pursuit.
No, the pursuit
They literally
stopped.
just stood there and let him get 5 yards.
You know, not being derogatory against any of these kids. I don't know any of these kids, but we talked about this before off air, and it's been a running theme with these teams in the past. Once you get them thinking they're out of the game, they lay down on you. And I think we saw that earlier, even before they were really out of it.
Yeah.
It's just the mindset, the perception the players had maybe was they're out of it. And at that point, they were kind of done.
So under a minute, 36 seconds remaining in the ball game as Evers is going to take the knee. And that's going to wrap this up as the clock is going to run down. Under 29 seconds, play clock's at 35, so no need in running another play as James Clemens is going to move to 4-0 in Region 4 action, 5-1 on the season, and take their lead over the Florence Falcons 6-3. So, and by the way, Cade Davis does play. Cade Davis does play baseball.
That's Coach Truitt giving me hand signs and signals and faces through the window. He's a happy guy right now.
I knew that this was going to be one of those tests that he was.
Well, that guy hadn't slept in 3 days.
I know it. He's on fall break too, just like everybody else.
Yeah, but he ain't slept.
He's
been worried about this Florence defense, and I thought he came in with a great game plan, and our guys executed it really well against what is a really good defense.
Sure. So James Clemens stays on top of the region action along with Austin, and we'll get some of those region scores here in just a little bit during our Bankston Motorhomes post-flight show. Your final score, James Clemens 28, Florence 17. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk some more James Clemens football and what we got next week. You're listening to Jets Football on PAS+.
Mellow, a state of mind, a culture, a way of being, and the philosophy behind Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers. Since 1974, their mission has been to provide delicious food in a fun and creative environment. The originators of hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza, Mellow Mushroom makes their pies with high-quality, fresh ingredients to elevate the dining experience. So mellow out at Mellow Mushroom, a higher order of pizza in Huntsville at 470 Providence, Maine, and 2230 Cecil Ashburn in Jones Valley. Local sports are brought to you in part by Limestone County Commission Chairman Colin Daly. Visit the County Commission page at limestonecounty-al.gov to keep up with what's going on in the county and find out what ranks us in the top 5% in the state. You can also call Colin at 256-233-6400 or on his cell phone at 256-800-4544. North Alabama Gas District has provided safe, reliable, and economical natural gas service to Madison and surrounding areas of Limestone County for over 40 years. However, accidents and leaks do sometimes occur. If you smell odors similar to rotten eggs or notice other possible signs of a gas leak, such as a fire or explosion, a blowing or hissing sound, or blowing dust or bubbling water, leave the area immediately, avoid ignition sources, warn others, and from a safe location, contact us immediately at 256-772-0227. And remember to call 811 before you dig. North Alabama Gas District, we take safety seriously. One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair.
Bankston Motorhomes, with locations in Alabama and Tennessee, carries an extensive inventory of motorhomes, including Class A diesel, Class A, Class B, and Class C motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, toy haulers, and tent campers from manufacturers like Tiffin Motorhomes, Fleetwood, Forest River, and many more. Bankston Motorhomes also has an experienced service department to help you with any service work or parts or accessories you need. Bankston Motorhomes, Huntsville, Florence, Albertville, Ardmore, and Nashville, helping families like yours build memories for over 40 years. Call 1-800-624-2899 or visit them online at bankstonmotorhomes.com.
This is the James Clemens Post-Flight Show, brought to you by Bankston Motorhomes. The only way to go is in a Bankston motorhome.
Welcome back to James Clemens Football right here on PAS Plus. Kirk Pierce, Brad Kimbrough, Tim Lambert here at Brawley Stadium, home of the UNA Lions, also home of the Florence Falcons, as James Clemens takes the win, 28-17, your final score, improving their record to 5-1 overall, 4-0 in Region 4 action. And taking a look at we're at Bankston Motorhomes Post-Flight Show as we take a look at our North Alabama Gas District scoreboard and update you on some scores. In the third quarter, it looks like Sparkman 23, Bob Jones 21, Sheffield 33, Elkmont 32. That's in the third quarter. Lauderdale County 51, Clemens 6. That's in the fourth. Lawrence County 42, East Limestone nothing. That's in the third quarter. Hatton 28, West Limestone 21. Fourth quarter action there. Muscle Shoals in the fourth quarter, 49-28 over Athens so far. Austin and Huntsville. Austin 38, Huntsville 13. That's in fourth quarter action. Tanner 39, Tharptown 6. That's fourth quarter. And Gunnersville 51, Grissom 7. That's probably in the fourth quarter as well. That's your North Alabama Gas District scoreboard, serving Madison, Muscle Shoals, and Town Creek. Always call 811 before you dig. As we continue on with our Bankston Motorhomes Post-Flight Show, Brad, another big win tonight for the James Clemens Jets as we improve our record 5-1, 4-0 in Region 4 action.
Any win's a big win, but yes, getting the region, another region win is huge for us right now. We talked about it the last few weeks, and especially with Coach McGee when he talks about it turning into a 3-week season with Florence, Sparkman, Austin, right? You can't be successful on that 3-week season if you don't go get the first one.
Right.
So getting that first one's big, and it keeps us and Austin in the driver's seat for the region. We want to win the region.
Sure.
He talked about how badly he wants those seniors to be back-to-back region champs, but you definitely want to be first or second in the region.
Sure.
So we got to go handle business. We did that, the first part of that here tonight. Next week, we'll get ready to go get Sparkman.
So, looking at Coach McGee's record, this is his fourth season in at head coach for James Clemens. He has won the region 2 out of the past 3 years, looking to get 3 out of the past 4. There we go. Math's hard. But, that's what we're looking for. And like you said, this is not about him. He talked about it the other night on the podcast. He wants this for the seniors.
Right.
And they want it bad. And again, it could turn out. We got to go to Sparkman next week, which is not an easy place to play.
Not an easy one.
And they're going to be ready because that's what they do. They look at us as one of their big rivals, and normally we've been able to handle them. But again, Sparkman on the road is going to be a big game next week.
It will be. We just got to go handle business, kind of like we did tonight, kind of like we've done all year, with the exception of Spain Park. Just go handle business and play our game, and I think we're going to be fine. Yeah, it looks like all roads are going to lead to us in Austin, though, in 2 weeks.
I agree. I hope so. Looking at tonight's action, the way things worked out is both Barry and Gideon were able to score twice tonight, and Gideon has increased in 5 games, or 6 games, increased to 10 touchdowns overall.
The guy just
Barry continues to score.
Well, and we've talked about Cam. Cam does such a great job of running the football, but Cam can do so many other things. He can play defense. He can block from the backfield. He's a decoy. Because of the way that he runs. And Cam is so unselfish, he doesn't care who's scoring touchdowns as long as the Jets win. And that's the type kid you want on your team.
And we kind of got a little bit away from the way we run our offense because we look for some of those big breaks and stuff. But we knew coming in tonight with that defensive line, we were going to have to create our own opportunities. And I think our offensive line, going up against a strong defensive front from Florence, were able to create those small opportunities. And when they were created, our backs took advantage of them.
Oh, no question. I mean, the guys did a good job, and early on it was hard for them to kind of, I won't say hard for them, it was an adjustment.
Right.
Where they're normally hitting that zone hard, really hard, or finding that cutback. Sometimes neither one of them was there.
Right.
And they had to kind of develop a little bit more patience. But, Coach Truitt and those guys probably did a great job of creating adjustments for them and made it a lot easier to get those alignments.
So Barry had a 32-yard touchdown run, the longest of the night for anybody, and he took it to the house, man. And, I mean, it was, that was about the biggest run. It was the biggest run of the night overall, just for a lot of things because it put us up 2 scores.
Well, and it was one of those that he just refused to be denied again.
That's it.
I mean, we've seen both of them, Cam and MJ, have those runs where I don't care what you do, you don't have enough for them.
That's it. So the final score, 28-17. James Clemens takes another Region 4 win and moving on to 4-0. Plays Sparkman next Friday night in Sparkman. But listen, you can enter your name for the Lawlers Fan of the Week at PASplus.net. We'll announce the winner during the Bankston Motorhomes post-flight show of each James Clemens game. The winner gets a gift card from Lawlers Barbecue. And tonight's winner of a gift card from Lawler's Barbecue, Braden Strode.
Okay, Braden.
Braden, congratulations. You are our Lawler's Fan of the Week right here on PAS Plus. And again, you can enter your name. You got several more chances to win. Just go online to PASplus.net and enter your name. I got to enunciate. Mama said I got to enunciate.
Enter
but listen,
your name.
Braden, you've got 2 weeks to swing by WKAC Radio in Athens and pick up your gift card. You are our Lawlers Fan of the Week.
Yeah, go get one of them double meat plates or one of them stuffed potatoes.
Stuffed baked potatoes where it's at, man. It's so good. But now we move on to another part of it. And this one was a little bit more difficult to choose because there were so many ways we could have gone tonight, but we watched from up here in the press box and got a good vision of what took place down there on the field defensively. And it's time now for our Bankston Motorhomes post-flight show where we announce the Mellow Mushroom Player of the Night. And our featured jet will get a gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Now, Brad, I got to tell you, as well as we performed offensively and offensive did their job, defense was able to hold them to 17. Now, we did give up some big throws, a big run in the beginning, the opening drive for Florence, and then a pass play there in the second half that really just threw the ball up to make it 17. But our defensive line really stood hard and created pressure on that quarterback, and I think our defensive lineman, and we call his name a lot from the nose guard position. What do you think?
I agree. Tank has played so well. Tank Ezel, Travis Ezel, we know as Tank.
We call him Tank.
He's done such a good job. The kid's got a motor that runs all the time, and he's often taking on 2 blocks, right, to allow Hayes Harrison and those guys to run more freely. It's really a thankless job that he does down there, and he has to be physical every single play. But over the last few weeks, he's done a much better job of getting pressure on the quarterback or making a running back stumble in the backfield. And he's forcing teams to double team him. Tonight, when they did not double team him, he was the guy who was making that initial pressure. He's the guy who was starting to create chaos, and sometimes even when they did double team him.
So Tank Ezel is our Mellow Mushroom Player of the Night, and he gets a gift card from Mellow Mushroom. So congratulations to him and all of the Jets players out there for job well done here at Brawley Stadium. Coach Kimbrough, final thoughts. I said bro. I did it on purpose.
It's okay.
Final thoughts.
I mean, great job, right? Because we talked about the letdown is a possibility after Spain Park, and then the fall break. You know, Coach McGee talked about coming into a bigger stadium where you don't bring a lot of people and the students aren't there and all that. How are you going to handle all those things? And I thought our kids did a great job of handling it, especially Florence scores first.
Right.
Florence scored on the opening drive. How are you going to respond? And we responded great, and then we continued to pour it on, and we got better as the game went.
I agree.
And I think when we have a team that does that, we're going to be really, really hard to beat when you can improve during the game.
So, final score, 28-17. You could join us next week on this Friday night, a week from tonight. We'll broadcast live from Sparkman as James Clemens travels on the road.
Is that Harvest?
It is in Harvest.
We'll be in Harvest.
We'll be in Harvest. And we're going to have a full booth next Friday night. It'll be all of us.
Yeah,
it'll be everybody there. We might even have extras. Who knows?
We'll pack them in there, man.
We'll pack them in there. So you can join us live right here on PAS Plus. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock next Friday night. Pre-game show usually around 6:45. So you can join us live next Friday night at Sparkman, or just listen to us here on PAS Plus. Or you could join us next Tuesday night at Walk On Sports Bistro for the Wingman podcast, where we'll get to talk to some of the coaches, some players, and some special guests, and we'll just talk about tonight and next Friday night as well.
Definitely come join us at Walk On's Tuesday night for a good time.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Final score, 28-17 for Coach Kimbrough, for Tim Lambert. I'm Kirk Pierce. Thanks for tuning in, and you're, again, James Clemens with the win. You've been listening to Jets Football on PAS Plus.
You've been listening to James Clemens Football on PAS Plus. Listen to the archive of this game or past ones by going to pasplus.net. James Clemens Football is a production of the PAS Network.